All right, this update is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Padres beat the Twins last night for their 32nd comeback victory of the year. They're going for the sweep today. 3:40 first pitch. Matt Waldron on mound for the Padres. Some moves today for the Padres. Matthew Batten, it was nice knowing you. He was here for one game as he was sent down to the minors for Mason McCoy. The Padres have also transferred Fernando Tatis Jr. to the 60-day IL. Don't worry, it's not a bad thing. He's already been on the IL for 60-plus days already. This is just precautionary. It's Mattress Firm's best sale of the year. Labor Day sale. Save up to $900 on select adjustable mattresses from Stearns to Foster, Tempur-Pedic, and Sealy. Plus, get up to a $300 instant gift for pillows and more.
Getting you all set for that drive home.
Later this hour, the way Michael King speaks of Jackson Merrill is the way I speak of my 5-year-old son, Jones.
It's the way I speak of, like, lightsabers.
Like, he just looks so happy.
Like a sparkle.
Yes, exactly.
I like how neither one of you are like, yeah, that's how I talk about the other one.
No, it's not how I talk about Jim. I
don't
talk about Jim
John like that. No.
I talk about Jim like it's a true crime documentary.
Informative murder porn?
Right, yeah. He wants me to be on a Netflix true crime documentary.
There are so many good ones.
There are a lot of good ones.
Aren't there some good ones?
It's a tale of lust, seduction, and murder on sexy betrayals.
We want more murder documentaries now.
Some like their murder with a side of sexy biscuits on Southern Fried Homicide.
I love the mystery part of it. I don't love the fact that, like,
no,
those
the people are
happen,
gone. No, nobody
obviously.
loves it. You're not pro-murder.
I love the murder part of
Right,
it.
anti-murder.
No, I'm not. I want them to find the person that did it. I want them to put them to justice. I want to know every single step how they got there.
I can't wait till they throw his headless butt in jail.
Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour one of Jon and Jim. We are back at Circa in Las Vegas, getting you ready for Padres baseball coming up in about 40 minutes. By Las Vegas standards, the temperatures are actually
Pretty cool.
comfortable. I
Yeah.
mean, it's 105.
It's 100.
And we're outside at
Yeah.
Stadium Swim, which is this incredible rooftop pool at Circa that we've talked about over the years.
Yeah.
But we're in a cabana, so we'll try to stay cool. We've got you covered. By the way, if you haven't been to Circa, with the NFL season starting in less than 3 weeks, this is the spot to get because they've got their Circa Million contest going on. They have their Circa Survivor contest going on. You can enter between now and the start of the NFL season. So you still have 2 weeks from tomorrow to get here and enter. And here's the thing. Once you enter, you don't have to be in Las Vegas. You can play from anywhere, including in San Diego. $1,000 to enter in Circa Million or Circa Survivor, then a chance, Jim, to win truly millions of dollars over the course of the football season.
Yeah, this is our home away from home.
It really is. We've spent more time here than like anywhere else.
Seriously, we had the whole red carpet for us today. Thank you to Circa.
Yes.
Thank you to Erin that works here at Circa that had this whole
Not Erin, your wife.
Not Erin, my wife.
But we do thank her as well.
Oh, we always thank Erin, my wife. But Erin, who works here at Circa that facilitated this whole thing. We got picked up in a limo this morning, which was awesome. VIP service. So
no big deal.
No big deal. It's fine. We're here, Stadium Swim, getting ready for some Padres baseball. Padres are going to be on the big screen here in about 40 minutes going for the sweep against the Twins. And I tell you what, Jon, like we've been here, we've been talking to some people, and dude, everybody is on the Padres here.
There's a lot of people behind the Padres to the point that they are down to a 12-1 to win the World Series in 2024. The odds all the way down to 12-1 because San Diego's playing some of the best baseball, obviously, in the majors right now. So, listen, the way that Jim now travels, ever since he went to Switzerland, Italy, he's like, I need a limo.
Like top of the line or nothing.
So we get
Was there
to the
a guy
airport
at the
in
airport
Vegas.
with a sign that said Jon and Jim?
There was a sign that
was.
said John Schaefer.
Yeah, not Jon.
Because we don't try to acknowledge Jim outside of the studio for whatever reason. It always says like me. No, but the limo pulls up, Brent, and like anything you possibly want was in the limo. Now, it was also 10 in the morning, so we weren't exactly in the mood to be like pounding beers and like making mixed drinks.
They had a full bar in the limo.
With the show coming up at 3 p.m. But Circa's taking care of us. And again, if you're looking for more information, circasports.com. You can enter Circa Million here in Vegas at Circa Survivor. More information, circasports.com. We'll tell you all about it over the course of today's show and tomorrow's show as well. So last night, again, Jim, it's amazing how they do this. Deja vu all over again, as Yogi Berra would say. Down in the 7th, Manny Machado ties it. Go down again in the 8th. Maybe it's not their night. Jerks and Profar has other ideas. 3-run home run. Padres hold on and end up winning at 7-5. They'll go for a sweep this afternoon in 30 minutes. It's another game where the Padres seemingly are out of it late that they win, and they've done it time and time again all season long.
I was so happy that not only they won
yeah,
last
you're right.
night, but if they lost, all today would have been just give Jim as much S as possible.
Right.
Because of what I said yesterday about how pretty much all in, how confident I am with this team.
Kind of like lock him into the postseason.
Lock him in. And the Rockies series was one thing to me. I just viewed that as a one-off, and it really is a one-off. This team is always in it. They're never out of it. They have this fight that I haven't seen with the Padres baseball team in, forever since I've been here. It's well over a decade. Like, they just never give up. How many times have I said it just feels like they're going to find a way to win?
A lot.
Yeah. And last night, what happens? They find a way to win. Manny Machado, off a guy who is just mowing down this team, who's like 9 feet tall. He comes up with a big clutch 2-run home run. And after that, you just say, okay, they're winning this game. I don't know how they're going to win, but they're going to win. Somebody's going to come up clutch, big-time hit, big-time moment. Jurickson Profar was the player. Now, I know there's a lot of just weird, stupid discussion online about him showing bunt during that at-bat. But at the end of the day, without Jurickson Profar, they don't win that game. He has the defensive play of the game, and he has the offensive play of the game with getting the 3-run homer to give them the lead. And after that, it was history. I don't know. Maybe give all the credit to Jurickson Profar for being freaking amazing.
Fakest outrage in the world.
Fakest outrage.
To take something that someone said post-game. This is Jurickson Profar post-game to the media about his quote-unquote near decision to bunt. By the way, what does that even mean? He just showed bunt. Players do it all the time.
You show bunt to manipulate the defense's position.
And also potentially draw a favorable count, because oftentimes when you show, you're going to get a pitch out of the zone, which is what happened
you
in that spot.
Freak the pitcher out.
Yeah, exactly. Let me not throw it over the plate because
Right.
he might lay down a bunt. So this is what he said post-game. This is an exact quote from Jurickson Profar. I'm Profar, and Profar play really good baseball, so if I bunted, I will be safe 100%, and it's going to be bases loaded, nobody out for Jake Cronenworth, yes. And then there was this fake outrage about, it's not a good idea to bunt in that spot, trailing in the 8th inning. Who cares that he showed bunt? What he actually showed as well was an ability to once again come through in the clutch. 3-run home run after that brilliant defensive play you just talked about.
Play the game.
Padres take the lead, end up winning it 7-5. And if it's not Profar, it's Merrill. If it's not Merrill, it's Machado. It's amazing how night in and night out they're finding a way. They'll go for a sweep here this afternoon against the Minnesota Twins. And I'm not willing to go as far as you've gone, and I like where you've gone, which is saying this team's making the postseason.
I'm there, man.
We just saw here in Vegas, I think they're like minus 15,000 right now to make the postseason, or minus 1,500. They're 15-1 to make the postseason. They're at 95% to make it. They're getting close. And if they can sweep another series, how can you bet against the San Diego Padres right now at 22-6 in the second half?
You can't. Everything that they do, it's working right now. They take advantage of every single break that is thrown their way, and they turn it into a positive.
Mm-hmm.
They just have this belief about them that no matter what, they're going to win. You hear post-game, I think Profar was talking to Mary Lou's and Palm, and it's exactly what he said. Hey, we just feel like we're going to win. We have this confidence about ourselves that no matter what situation we're in, we're going to find a way to pull it out, whoever it's going to be. No one's looking to hit the 5-run homer. Everyone's going up there doing their job. And if you need to get a runner over, the guy's going to get the runner over. You need to get a big-time, extra base hit, that guy's going to, more often than not, get a big-time extra base hit, whoever it is in this lineup. It's a full team effort, night in and night out. That's why I just feel so confident about them, because they feel exactly as confident as I do with how they're going about their business.
And here's what I would say, and I agree with you, Jim. I'm basically where you are. I'm not going to say it definitively probably for another week, but I'm basically where you are.
Uh-huh.
But I'm at the point where, and we spent a lot of time on Fernando Tatis Jr., Yu Darvish, Ha-Seong Kim. We spent time obviously on Xander Bogaerts when he was out. And I hate to say none of it matters, because I think ultimately it does matter in their ability to win a World Series. But I can't sit here and pretend like getting Fernando Tatis Jr. back tomorrow is the difference between winning and losing, when all they do right now in the regular season is win. He told Kevin Acee on the way off the field yesterday, because he's been doing baseball activities but not a full go, he said he'll be back soon. He was transferred today to the 60-day IL. That doesn't mean anything.
No,
He's
doesn't
going
mean
to end up missing 60 days either way.
Right, yeah.
But Tatis is technically on the 60-day. He said to Kevin Acee on his way off the field yesterday, I'll be back soon. So we wait on that. But truthfully, we're not waiting on bated breath because even without him, they're doing things that they weren't doing when they had him this year.
It's the conversation we have about Tyler Wade. Like, he's in there today again, playing shortstop.
It's all good.
Is it ideal when you have Donovan Solano on your bench, who could also, play shortstop, or you can manipulate Bogey back to short and Solano at second? Like, not really, but guess what? They're winning. And we've said this time and time again, the same things we said about Mike Shildt post games and, Tyler Wade playing every day now with Hassan Kim out. If they win, it does not matter, because the bottom line is you win, you can deal with all that stuff. And by the way, most of that stuff, when they win, becomes like endearing. And you're like, oh, great. Shildt has everyone's back. Like, oh, it's cute. Like, it's funny because they win, and so I just love watching this team every night play baseball, just because it's not just one guy. It's everybody. Everybody in this lineup goes up there and has a chance to do something to help the team win. And more often than not, it's a team effort.
There were not one, not two, but three times last night sitting there with Kristen, my wife, and Jones asleep, that I truly either got up out of my seat or said "O-S" or "Oh crap." And it was Machado tying it up. It was the Profar play that he made at third, which was incredible.
In the eighth,
You didn't know if that was going to be the difference between winning and losing, but it kept them close. And then Profar homer in that spot. Like, how can you not be romantic about baseball when Jurickson Profar continues to do this? By the way, it hasn't been his best month.
No.
He's been very pedestrian.
Yeah.
He's been hit 8 times in 14 games coming into the series.
Yeah, he's not been great.
And then he comes through by homering just over the left field wall, and you just begin to believe that this team has something that is just somewhat unique and special that you can't really quantify, but it's happening in front of our eyes.
But, John, he showed bunt.
But he showed bunt, so it's almost like it
bunt,
doesn't count the home run because he showed
Right.
bunt. You're right.
Do you think the Major League Baseball office is going to take away that win last night because they showed bunt?
It's not a 3-run home run anymore. It's a 2-run home run because he showed bunt.
Oh, so it's still a tie game, and they should still probably be playing.
It is always amazing when people get animated after a
3-run
win.
fielder's choice.
We last night doing a wrap-up show, there's so much interest, there's so much excitement, and even some people are like, I don't know about Shildt going to Tanner Scott there in the 8th inning. I'm like, guys, Tanner Scott's got a 1 ERA. Tanner Scott's been great as a Padre, and every string Mike Shildt pulls works.
Yeah.
And they won the game.
And by the way, if you're listening, you're like, what are you guys talking about? What we're referring to is the former UT editor went online and took the quotes from Profar and said that he's not – what would he – I don't even want – I'm paraphrasing, but along the lines of he's not playing good. And
no, that wasn't a good baseball decision, right?
It wasn't a good baseball decision. Why did he show bunt there even though he hit a 3-run homer? And I'm just like, are we seriously going to get upset and cry about him showing bunt when he hit a 3-run homer and made the defensive play of the game? So if you're wondering out there why we're saying those things of like, he showed bunt, John, it doesn't count. That's the reason why.
Yeah, the exact quote was, that is not quote unquote really good baseball. Not when you're a hitter like Jurickson Profar. Yeah. Didn't happen tonight, but that kind of thinking could cost Padres a game at some point. Give me a break. Jurickson Profar is the reason why they are where they are today.
And that's all we're going to spend on that person today.
All right. On the other side, though, here's what we're going to do. More getting you ready for Padres and Twins from Circa in Las Vegas. San Diego going for a sweep. Tim Murray, Vegas Sports and Information Network, his thoughts on the Padres potentially to do things that they haven't done before. He'll join us coming up at 5:30. Plus, on the other side, we're giving away tickets to see Pink with Sheryl Crow coming up at Petco Park on Wednesday, September 11th. We'll do that on the other side. We'll get you ready for Padres and Twins. We're at Circa in Las Vegas. Don't go anywhere. It's Jon and Jim. All right, Jon and Jim back with you. Circa in Las Vegas. We're giving away pink tickets for Wednesday, September 11th at Petco Park in the next 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We've told you about Circa for years here on San Diego Sports 760. If you get to Vegas before the start of the NFL season, you can enter either Circa Million or Circa Survivor, a chance to win $16 million. $16 million. More info at circasports.com. That's circasports.com. So as the Padres get ready for the Twins, Jim, two things of note. The Mets are coming here next, and Joe Musgrove is pitching in one of those games Friday night when we're downtown. Joe Musgrove against the Mets.
Big series against the Mets.
You know the backstory with Musgrove and the Mets.
Oh, I know.
So he's going to throw Friday night. And here's the other thing. The Mets today, before leaving for San Diego, playing a day game, walk off on a Jesse Winker home run. Winker acquired at the deadline.
That Jesse Winker?
That
started,
Jesse Winker who started with Jerks and Profar and the fans.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
So he walks off today for the New York Mets. So how does he act? He must have been really super professional because he took so much exception to Jerks and Profar, right?
I'm sure he rounded the bases.
Kept his head down.
Gave him maybe a couple fist bumps.
Walked into the clubhouse.
And high-fived his teammates, and they celebrated at home plate, right?
Is that how it played out?
Oh, wait, it didn't play like that. Dude, I saw this, and I immediately was like, double take. Is that really Jesse Winker who did this? So he hit a walk-off home run, his first home run with the Mets after being traded from the Nationals or however he got to New York.
It's been there for like a month.
Did he get traded? Or
did he was traded.
Okay, he got traded to the Mets. Anyway, however he got there, who cares? And he hits a walk-off. It's awesome. Great for him. He then walks up the first baseline, turns to the Mets dugout, stops, gives a couple air pumps, takes his helmet off, throws his helmet on the ground, pounds his chest, walks up to first base, takes off his wrist guard, throws his wrist guard on the ground, rounds third base, starts walking towards home plate.
The whole thing took a minute.
And the entire Mets team is lined up on the third base line. Francisco Lindor is giving him high fives at third base, like they just won the World Series. And he jumps on home plate, rips his jersey off. They're throwing water and seeds all over him. And I'm thinking to myself, you're the same guy that got all butthurt for Jerks and Profar celebrating a walk-off victory at home, just like you just did? Dude, I cannot wait until this clown comes to San Diego to boo the hell out of him.
Well, it's setting up perfectly because, again, anything that's been perceived as a slight to the Padres or Jerks and Profar has come out.
Bring it on.
Has come up perfectly.
Yeah.
Even last night, apparently, was it Christian Vasquez of the Twins took exception with something that Jerks and Profar maybe the
across the home
run
plate
or something. And so Christian Vasquez took exception with that, and then Profar noticed. So keep your eye on that here today. But now the Mets and Jesse Winker are coming here, and you got Joe Musgrove on a Friday night in Game 2 of that series. We'll be downtown at the Naughty Barrel, and I think things are setting up really well right now for the Padres at home, having won this series, and it's a big series against the Mets. I know today is big as well. They're all big right now, but that series against the Mets, who are in good position, not great position, but they're 4 or 5 games over 500. That's a huge 4-game series kicking off at Petco on Thursday night.
Yeah, huge 4-game series. You could really put a dent in the Mets season.
If take 3 out of 4.
Take 3 out of 4, but I just can't get over. I was like, are you kidding me,
what's
Jesse Winker?
I mean, those that live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Like, you were the guy that took so much exception with Jerks and Profar, and then you actually took what Profar did to an nth degree today at Citi Field.
And it's not the celebration, by the way, not even close to what Profar did. If anybody out there has a slight on what Profar did, I mean, again.
But here's the other thing. I think I'm fine with the Winker celebration in
Me
a vacuum,
too.
just like we were cool with the
Totally
Jerks
fine.
and Profar celebration. But if you're going to say, how dare Jerks and Profar do that, now we got to hit them, then how can you act that exact same way a month later?
Yeah, that's the thing. What Jesse Winker did today, the celebration, I have zero problem
I have
with
no
it.
issue with it.
The problem I have is it's Jesse Winker, the same guy that bitched and complained and cried about Jerks and Profar celebrating the same exact situation at home.
Yes.
That's the problem that we both have, and it makes Jesse Winker look like an absolute clown for this. And I'm seeing a lot of people on social media praising this thing from Jesse Winker, like nationally, and I'm thinking to myself,
if you only knew.
Do you guys remember how much this guy cried and complained and bitched when Jerks and Profar did something that was less than what Jesse Winker did?
2 things to consider, by the way. Mets coming to San Diego, 2 games out of a playoff spot. Remember this. The Padres were swept by the Mets at Citi Field this year. the series that turned the Mets season around to this point. Remember, the Padres have ended the seasons of Pittsburgh and Washington.
Yeah, it's
the
over for them.
series that got the Mets back into playoff contention, so to speak, was by sweeping the Padres. Now can the Padres return the favor? Because to your point, Mets are in it, but they can't afford losing 3 out of 4 to a team in front of them or getting swept in a 4-game series.
That's what the Padres have done right now. Is it ideal to lose 3 of 4 in a series in a 4-game set? No. But what the Padres have done has created wiggle room for themselves where those things aren't considered and feel like the end of the world. Teams like the Mets, the Braves, teams like the Giants, the Cardinals, you lose 3 out of 4 in a 4-game series, it feels like the sky is falling, end of the world. Oh my God, season's over. Now, I don't want that to happen this week. And I'm not saying, oh yeah, just because you've created a great cushion for yourself and played amazing baseball, you can afford to have a bad series. No, keep your foot on that gas pedal, especially with that douche Jesse Winker coming to town, and just take the Mets and stomp on them and make sure that they don't make the postseason. You can do that this weekend by winning 3 of 4. Don't let up. Go for the sweep today. You have a great opportunity to do that. You have a great opportunity to have an amazing homestand coming off of a bad series in Colorado, which will even more confirm and more solidify my stance on that series with the Rockies was a complete one-off, and they just can't play well against Rockies.
Completely an outlier. I mean, they've won 9 of 10 series, and we'll see if they can make it 10 of 11 this weekend against the New York Mets. All right, we promised you tickets to see Pink. We'll give those away right now. Caller 5, you've got 2 free tickets to see Pink with Sheryl Crow and the Script. This is Wednesday, September 11th at Petco Park. For tickets and info, go to Ticketmaster.com. Great giveaway. Caller 5 to 877-767-4760 right now has those free tickets. Again, one more time. For Pink tickets, call 877-767-4760 right now. Be caller 5, and you have 2 free tickets. We're in Las Vegas. Guess who is now the favorite for National League Rookie of the Year?
I know.
That's the spoiler alert. It's next on Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Padres going for the sweep today against the Minnesota Twins as they beat the Twins last night in comeback fashion, their 32nd comeback victory of the year, which leads Major League Baseball. First pitch moments away at Petco Park. Matt Waldron on the mound for the Padres. The Padres have made a few moves today. Matthew Batten, he was up for 1 day. He was sent down today for Mason McCoy. Padres have also transferred Fernando Tatis Jr. to the 60-day IL. Doesn't mean his season's over. He's already been on the IL for 60 days, or going to be on the IL for 60 days. So it's just standard procedure as normal. It's Mattress Firm's best sale of the year, Labor Day sale. Save up to $900 on select adjustable mattress sets from Stearns and Foster, Tempur-Pedic, and Sealy. Plus, get up to $300 on instant gifts for pillows and more.
Circa in Las Vegas, Nevada, getting you ready for Padres Twins coming up later this hour. To your point, real quick on Tatis. And by the way, we're at Circa today and tomorrow, getting you ready for the NFL season. They've got their contesting going on for the season. Get here before the start of the season. Chance to win $16 million in guaranteed prizes from Circa Million, Circa Survivor. More info at circasports.com. You mentioned the fact that he's transferred to the 60-day IL. Like you said, it's kind of just bookkeeping at this point, because Tatis last appeared in a game on what date? June 21st. So you're right. It's been 60 days. He is eligible to return at any point, essentially, from this point on. He did tell Kevin Acee yesterday on the way off the practice field, whenever he was doing baseball activities, that he'll be back, quote unquote, soon. He has not begun, though, rehabbing as of yet for the Padres. So it's been those 60 days. Now, on the way out, we said that guess who's the betting favorite now in Vegas to win the National League Rookie of the Year? That might have been a bit too far, because Tim Murray is going to swing by later on, and we were texting back and forth. He said basically Paul Skeens and Jackson Merrill are co-favorites right now per DraftKings Sportsbook in Vegas. I think Skeens is minus 110 and Jackson Merrill is minus 120, or vice versa. But he's come all the way back.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point within the last month, Paul Skeens was a 1 to 50 favorite. He was like minus 5,000 to win Rookie of the Year. And now Merrill's erased it all over the last month. And you could absolutely argue, because of Skeens and the innings limits and everything, that Merrill's going to be the favorite within the next couple of days or weeks.
I think right now the only way Paul Skeens wins Rookie of the Year is if he pitches out through the rest of the season and he dominates. But I don't think that's happening. And even if he did do that, I would still think that Jackson Merrill should win Rookie of the Year, just because he's been more impactful to his team. I think that should play a role in this whole Rookie of the Year debate. To me, at this point in time, Jackson Merrill, his last month, has really stamped for me that Rookie of the Year award with Jackson Merrill's name on it. He's had a great season, but it's not just he's putting up numbers. He's putting up impactful numbers. He's coming in clutch. He is helping this team win. This team is going to go to the postseason in part because of Jackson Merrill, who has played a huge role for this team. I mean, Michael King yesterday was gushing over him. You saw it on our Instagram today. We talked about it. Like, people in that clubhouse think that Jackson Merrill, the 21-year-old rookie, has been the team MVP. Think about that. They have
his
veterans
teammates
in there.
think that the catalyst, the MVP, is the 21-year-old.
And if that's the case for a team that is on their way to make the postseason, and they have a chance to potentially compete and win the National League West, the 21-year-old, how can you not say he's the Rookie of the Year? I think at this point, John, unless Skeens rips off like 10, well, how many starts would he have left?
7 max.
Okay.
And he's not going to make 7 starts.
No, I'm just saying,
right?
Unless Skeens finish out the year starting every 5th day, say he does pitch 7 starts. Say he goes 7 starts and goes 5-1 in those starts and has
a 2
ERA.
Mm-hmm. He's going to need to do that.
He's going to need to do that, because Jackson Merrill is being said by his own teammates that he's the team MVP, and this team is going to the postseason. The Pirates aren't.
Yeah, I mean, even yesterday, it's just like every single day he's making an impact on a game. And again, I feel like it's just infectious. And we said this, I think, a little bit yesterday. Like, when we try to compare seasons, and I don't even want to do it anymore, But what's the difference? Well, Jackson Merrill wasn't on this team in 2023. They didn't have that type of catalyst on their team, that young player. And you heard that play out. I remember we'd have people on a year ago, Jim, and they'd be like, you know what, are they as hungry as other teams? Like, they're so veteran-laden, right? There's so many alphas in there. A lot of guys that have had a lot of big league experience. But, like, what's going to truly get them going? Sometimes you need the young blood to be paired with that veteran leadership. He's the young blood that they didn't have a year ago that they now have, that they're all fueling off of. I'm not saying it's only because of Jackson Merrill.
Yeah.
I think they're probably a very good team, even if it's someone else maybe in center field. They're probably still a good team, but are they this good? Probably not.
It just doesn't it feel different when one of your key contributors is a young player?
Yeah, definitely.
Because just the energy they have. I mean, this guy is 21 years old, and he doesn't have an off switch right now. Now, it's going to be different when he's 31 years old.
Probably, yeah.
But at 21, you have all the energy in the world. When you're a professional athlete at 21, I'm sure Manny Machado would say, dude, at 21, I could go, and I couldn't. I felt like invincible, you know? Now it's different when you're 32, 33, 34 for a professional athlete because the wear and tear on the tires. And right now, Jackson Merrill doesn't feel any of that. He has a brand new car that just got out of that dealership, and he's ready to go. 0 miles on his tires. And he, every single day, is, I want to play baseball. I want to play baseball. I love baseball. I love baseball. I want to go.
To think that one of the biggest questions of the offseason is, where is Jackson Merrill going to play? And you're going to ask him to be a regular. And wait, he doesn't turn 21 until April 19th, which is like 3 or 4 weeks into the season. So this 20-year-old that started last year in A-ball, let me get this right, AJ. You're going to not just start in the big leagues, you're going to switch positions. And you're going to count on him every single day. AJ Preller was spot on.
Yeah.
Front office, development, coaching staff for, as you said yesterday, leaving him in spots to be successful. I think some of that goes to Schilt. That's not all front office. They didn't all of a sudden put him in the 4-hole or the 2-hole. They've left him in that 6-7 range throughout the course of this regular season, and it's all worked out beautifully. And at this point, it's like, why wouldn't it continue? There's a month left in the regular season. Why would you expect anything to be different with Merrill moving forward?
I had some guy we were looking at the airport laughing. Some guy on social media who, ironically, said he didn't listen to the show, but had all these,
but knew all our takes.
Knew all of our takes, even though all the takes that he thinks I had and have were wrong. And one of them was, I never thought Jackson Merrill was going to fail. There was only questions about Jackson Merrill, and actually, I remember saying I had faith in Jackson Merrill. I think he's going to do well. I didn't think he was going to do this well.
Sure.
I don't think anybody thought he was going to do this well.
Right.
I mean, if you did, then more power to you. I thought he was going to hold his own, and it was a refreshing sign to have this team have faith in one of their homegrown guys, to give them a starting position, to give them the opportunity to fail and have to go through the failures and hopefully come out on the other side better for it. And he has blown away every expectation possible. Even last night, didn't really do anything impactful.
I think he still had a double, didn't he?
Well, you're right. He had a double,
Yeah.
But I mean, even when games he doesn't have these big time moments, he still is out there contributing to wins. If he can go 0 for 4 today and make 2 defensive plays that are great, or go 0 for 3 with a walk and, steal a base, or have a great, base running play, or whatever the case may be, and still impact games in multiple ways. And I just love watching Jackson Merrill play baseball.
How can you not? I
know.
agree with you. Last 2 times out for Matt Waldron, who starts this afternoon at Petco Park, game 3 of the series coming up. Against Colorado at Coors Field, 5 2/3 innings, 9 hits, 7 earned runs. Okay, that was his last time out. The outing before it in Miami, 4 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 5 earned runs. Those are the last 2 times out for Matt Waldron, who has pitched very well for this team on the whole. The ERA, though, is up to 4.29. He's made 25 starts. 25 starts for the Padres. It feels important, doesn't it? Because if he doesn't pitch well today, again, team's fine. But then you say, well, 3 consecutive outings, Matt Waldron has been off if he doesn't pitch well here today. So for me, this is a big one to kind of get back in line with the pitcher he was before these last 2 outings.
Yeah, because about a month ago, maybe sooner than that, I don't. The time is all messy for me. Matt Waldron was a guy that if the postseason started, you're like, is he starting game 2 or 3? Like he was pitching that well. And we might forget, this team was on the brink of a winless road trip. going to New York and Philadelphia, and really probably their low point of their season. And what happened on that final day in Philadelphia? Matt Waldron outpitched Ranger Suarez. At the time, Ranger Suarez was the best pitcher in the National League.
That's such a great point.
And that propelled this team on the run that they have been on now. Take away the losing 6 of 7 before the All-Star break. Other than that, they have been, take that out, John. Take that 6 of 7 out. What's their record since that Philly game, the final game in Philadelphia?
Even with it, dude,
it's got to be.
Even with it, the record's great. Even with that,
it's got to easily be the best record in majors.
It has to be. And here's the other thing: that coincided with the exact moment Manny Machado said, "I need to be better."
Yep.
So the night before Waldron shoved was the night that Manny Machado said, "If I blow my elbow out again," I'm paraphrasing, "I'll do it in order to get back on track."
Right.
And he has been scorching hot, including the home run yesterday, his 20th.
And he's even said that, he felt like the last week he hasn't played well. Like he's missing a lot of pitches, he says.
Well, he's hitting some balls hard, too, including last night with that 2-run home run. I'll look up the Padres record since that day in Philadelphia. We'll have that for you coming up on the other side. Again, Padres and Twins playing game 3 of their series. Tim Murray, Vegas Sports and Information Network. He works out of Circa in Las Vegas. He'll join us coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. On the other side, the NFL obviously returning in just a couple of weeks. They're putting flag football into the Olympics the next time there are Olympics in 2028 in Los Angeles. Is Patrick Mahomes the best quarterback in the world or not? Because Daryl Doucette has weighed in.
Oh, the great Daryl Doucette.
And we will play that for you on the other side. Plus, we're at Circa in Las Vegas. We have great giveaways today for you over the next 2 hours. Tim Murray from VSiN will join us coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Here until 6 p.m. We'll keep you updated, of course, on Padres and Twins as well. Stay with us. It's Jon and Jim. today and tomorrow, getting you ready for the start of the NFL season. Circa million is back, $6 million guaranteed. If you enter, you have between now and the start of the NFL season to get to Vegas and enter. You don't have to be in Vegas to make your picks every week, by the way. You can do that from San Diego. Same thing with Circa Survivor. Enter here at beautiful Circa in Las Vegas, a sports lover's paradise. For more information, go to circasports.com. We'll keep you updated, obviously, on Padres and Twins. I mentioned it just a few moments ago. I mean, it's impossible to argue with Patrick Mahomes not being the best quarterback in the world. It's impossible. I mean, you could try, and we could talk about previously a Tom Brady or whatever. But right now, in this moment, there's not a better quarterback in the world than Patrick Mahomes. Or is there, Jim?
Well,
is it Brock Purdy?
No,
it's not Brock Purdy, but is it Darryl Doucette?
I would make a strong argument for Darryl Doucette.
Do you think so? All right, this is what Darryl Doucette has to say about that.
5'6" of him.
Yeah, let's hear from Darryl Doucette, who is a flag football quarterback. Remember, flag football will be in the Olympics in 2028. Doucette thinks he's more apt to start for the Olympic team than Patrick Mahomes. Here's why.
At the end of the day, I feel like I'm better than Patrick Mahomes because of my IQ of the game. I know he's right now the best in the league. I know he's more accurate. I know he has all these intangibles. But when it comes to flag football, I feel like I know more than him.
All right, so when it comes to flag football, remember, different sport, not 11 on 11. Maybe Darryl Doucette does a little more in the flag game than Patrick Mahomes is capable of doing. Now, Patrick Mahomes has quote tweeted this with a meme, right?
The 50-cent meme, like, talk about me?
Right, like Darryl Doucette, keep my name out of your mouth. Who are you?
Like, what?
Now, I watched highlights of Darryl Doucette because someone had him on X or Twitter. Dude could throw it a little bit.
Here's the thing. This is the greatest thing to ever happen to this guy.
To Darryl Doucette.
To have Patrick Mahomes quote tweet him with the meme that he did with 50 Cent, because now we're talking about it, and now I'm sure national shows will be talking about it, and this guy has now been made. I mean, truthfully, if I called out today, like, oh, I'm a better radio host than Colin Cowherd, and all of a sudden Colin Cowherd, like, quote tweets me.
Be huge for you.
Be huge for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Send that to Colin Brent.
or whoever, right?
Yeah. Dan Patrick.
So for me, it's just funny, but I don't think this is anything to be like, oh my, outraged about.
No, but he's serious about it. That's
okay.
What Darryl Doucette is.
Well, then
here's the thing.
Hopefully the Chiefs bring him out to camp so they can have like a throwing contest.
That's an amazing idea.
Yeah.
You know me. It's like if this happened to me, I wouldn't sleep for a week if I got called out by Patrick Mahomes. Like what happened with Ohtani on like Yahoo Japan when I said Ohtani was overrated.
You cried. You almost.
I literally cried.
Like called in sick.
So this is what I would prefer. I'd rather be getting the Patrick Mahomes call out if I'm Matt Waldron, because Mahomes is calling him out for having like a cool knuckleball, and that's what he's doing during like mini camp.
Right.
Like that to me is my preferred call out. But to your point, you're right. I mean, the Darryl Doucette call out. What the saying? No publicity is bad publicity.
Well, it depends.
By and large, you're right.
Yeah.
It does depend. But in something like this, I'd never heard of this guy before 4 hours ago. And now I'm not saying he's household, but he's getting a 15 minutes of fame.
This tweet that Mahomes retweeted. Now, it was from a Chiefs fan account, it looks like.
Okay.
But even then, that fan account has 4.9 million views on this video that we just played. So, yeah, for me, good for him for getting on Patrick Mahomes' radar and for Mahomes to put that out there, because this only benefits this kid.
Couple of NFL notes since we're in Vegas. The Niners are actually here Friday. We leave Thursday.
Probably a good idea.
For them to be here or us to leave?
No, for me to leave and not be in the same area.
When's the last time the Niners were in Vegas? I forget. So Niners and Raiders are going to be in Vegas on Friday night. I know you want to murder me. NFL news and notes.
I want you to go jump in the pool with this equipment.
With the equipment on around my head.
Yeah.
NFL news and notes. Purdy is going to play snaps again for San Francisco.
Well, then you better have your first string out there instead of third and fourth stringers. And guys
we'll see about that.
Make the team.
How about this? Bo Nix, who spent like 7 years in college, has been named the starter for Week 1 for the Broncos.
I'm sure it'll be a lot of discussion about Bo Nix tomorrow morning from 9 to noon.
You think so? On Colin?
I think so.
On the herd?
Bo Nix
already was.
And there's other starters, by the way, playing in the NFL this week. Quarterbacks, veterans. Like Russell Wilson says he will play in the preseason finale as well.
A job, though.
That, I guess, is different. I was going to say that. Russell Wilson has a job to earn. Brock Purdy does not right now.
No.
Yeah. And the Bo Nix thing isn't overly surprising, is it? I think he's like 26. He's like 25 years old.
Well, yeah, he's the oldest starting rookie quarterback in the ever. Broncos aren't like thinking.
Well, it's like he had
Super Bowl
Zach
this
Wilson.
year.
It's not like he beat out Russell Wilson in his prime.
Or Mahomes.
Well, that would be a good example.
Even this flag football guy.
Right.
So, yeah, Bo Nix getting the start, for me, absolutely. Why not? I mean, he's your rookie starting. He's your first-round draft pick, rookie quarterback. If you're a Broncos fan, all you want this year, and the only thing you care about is what Bo Nix does. That's it.
By the way, remember I told you last night that I was like losing sleep because I thought the Hawaii-Delaware State Week 0 game was in jeopardy on Saturday night at 8:59 Pacific that you can only watch on an app.
Texting me about that.
The update there, listen to this, guys. Remember, Delaware State had a quote-unquote snafu with their bus out of JFK in New York, didn't make the flight. But the game Saturday, the latest here is they're sending their team across the country, truly, on various commercial planes to get the team there collectively, but not all on one plane. Some of the members of the team on one commercial flight, some of the members of the team on another commercial flight, and so on and so forth to get to Honolulu to play Saturday night against the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors on an app.
Well, we had royalty on our flight this morning to Vegas.
We did. We had Eric Allen on the flight.
Yeah, the great Eric Allen lives in San Diego. I think he might work for the Raiders. He was wearing Raiders gear. Or he's just, he used to play for the Raiders, so maybe he's just wearing Raiders gear because he likes it. But that is a crazy story to have like your entire team fly different commercial flights to get to your game.
Do you know Eric Allen and I work together?
Did I know that or no?
No, I didn't know it. He was DB coach with the Fleet in 2019.
Did not know that.
So
John.
Eric Allen, and do you know the high school that he went to in San Diego?
Tell me again.
Point Loma.
Point Loma, yeah.
So he's out of Point Loma, played at Arizona State, was a damn good player in the NFL for a long time.
Yeah.
A great player and has been coaching, has worked in professional football, and yes, sat 2 rows in front of us.
Yeah.
He didn't recognize us.
He did not go, Jon and Jim?
Yeah.
But we went, Eric Allen?
Right.
So, unfortunately, we didn't get recognized by him.
Anyway, but Delaware State, Hawaii is on for Saturday night on the Team One Sports app. And also, Raiders-Niners is on for Friday night at Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas, Nevada, with Brock Purdy. Yeah. You could argue which is a bigger game, to be honest.
A preseason game or a game that actually counts?
I mean, Delaware State, Hawaii, Week 0, or Niners, Raiders, you tell me.
Are you going to put a play in here in Vegas for Delaware State,
I'm not putting any plays in. Why
not?
Calling San Diego State football games.
That's right. You'd get, in trouble for that.
All right, here's what I want to do on the other side. In the 4 o'clock hour, of course, we're going to get to the wrap. We're here until 6 p.m. Tim Murray, VSiN, Vegas Sports Information Network, his thoughts on the Padres, some betting odds for them to win the World Series. He'll swing by at 5:30. We have Def Leppard tickets with Journey for the Summer Stadium Tour with special guest Steve Miller Band. That's coming up Friday, August 30th at Petco Park that we're giving away as well. But again, on the other side, we have the wrap. We have 3 ticket giveaways for you over the next 2 hours. We're at Circa in Las Vegas where the temperatures are around 100 degrees, but could be hotter. We're here until 6 p.m. Updates on Padres and Twins. Don't go anywhere. It's Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Padres and Twins underway at Petco Park. Bottom of the first inning scoreless between them. Padres are looking for the sweep against the Twins today. And Padres have made a couple moves today, John. They Matthew Batten, remember him? He was sent down after just being up for 1 day for Mason McCoy. Yeah, that Mason McCoy. Actually, I don't know who Mason McCoy is. And Fernando Tatis Jr. has been transferred to the 60-day IL. It's Mattress Firm's best sale of the year, Labor Day sale. Save up to $900 on select adjustable mattress sets from Stearns to Foster, Tempur-Pedic, and Sealy. Plus, get up to a $300 instant gift for pillows and more.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? It's hour 2 of Jon and Jim. We're at the Circa in Las Vegas for each of the next 2 days, today until 6 p.m., tomorrow as well. NFL season just around the corner. There is no better location maybe in the country than Circa for sports fans. They've got some contests going on that you can sign up for right now. Circa Million, also Circa Survivor. More information at circasports.com. But if you're a San Diegan, NFL season's 2 weeks away. Get to Vegas, get to Circa, get your picks in, and then you don't have to be in Vegas every week to make the picks. You can do it from San Diego. And again, more information at circasports.com. How many times have we been here the last 2 years? 5? Something like that.
Well, I was here.
Oh, you had your bachelor party here.
So last year we were here for Mountain West Media Day for football.
Yep.
And then this year I went for my bachelor party. I stayed here with my buddies in March. And then in July, we were here for Mountain West Media Day for football.
Yep. Now in August, we're here.
Now we're here in August. So 4 times over the last year, we've been here at Circa. Again, that's 4 more times than I've been back home to visit my family.
And honestly, I kind of like spending about 4 times a year or more at Circa in Las Vegas. If you've never been, we're at Stadium Swim right now. We're in a cabana. It's 100 degrees out, but again, by Vegas standard, it's actually not overly hot for August.
Yeah.
Stadium Swim's incredible. They have the Padres on the video boards.
Yeah.
All 162 games, every postseason game is on at Stadium Swim. They have the largest sports book in the state of Nevada downstairs. If you've never been here, you need to get here. And again, if you want to get in on these NFL contests, go to circasports.com, learn more, get here before the NFL season starts in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's I've said this multiple times. This is my favorite place to stay in Las Vegas.
It's great.
It's away from the Strip, but there's still everything that you want when you come to Vegas and more, especially if you're a sports fan. This is like paradise because everywhere you turn, there is the sports book with the giant, monitors and the TV, and then you have Stadium Swim with the giant 100-foot, or it's 100 feet, right? Or how big is it?
It might be more than that. The width of the video board at Stadium Swim?
Yeah.
I mean, 100 feet's 30 yards. It's at least 100 feet.
It could be
100, 150 feet, something like that. Yeah.
And then the rooms that you stay in, you can see Stadium Swim and the big video board from your rooms all night, all day and all night, 24/7. They have great food selections here. It's a 21 and up over place. So like, if you want to go somewhere with like no kids, this is the place to go.
No doubt about it. All right, we're here till 6 p.m. today. Again, tomorrow from 3 to 6 as well from the Circa in Las Vegas. All right, we'll keep you updated, obviously, on the Padres. But right now, let's get to this.
It's time for The Wrap, presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
Are you taking the over or the under on SDSU's win total of 5.5 at Circa?
I'll take the over. I'll take the over just to be Mr. Positive.
Just basically your middle name.
Yeah, 6 wins, make a bowl game this year in Sean Lewis's first season, I think would be considered wildly successful, honestly, with the amount of turnover that this roster has had.
ESPN put out their bowl projections today for everything, the college football playoff and then all 30-something bowl games. And ESPN has San Diego State in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl.
I love the Potato Bowl.
So they've got San Diego State with 6 wins. And I'm with you. I'm taking the over on San Diego State. I'm betting on the Aztecs to bounce back from 4-8 last year under Sean Lewis. I don't think it's easy. I think their schedule is the biggest detriment potentially to getting to 6 wins. But I'm thrilled to watch it all play out. Danny O'Neill coming up a week from Saturday at Snapdragon Stadium. So, yeah, I'm taking the over. I think they can get to a bowl game in year 1 under Sean Lewis, which would be an incredible accomplishment.
And even if they don't, I don't think people should be like that upset about it, because I do think you're going to see improvement with this team game in and game out. There might be some clunkers in there, but that's expected with such a young team and a true freshman starting quarterback.
Got to be realistic with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be. I saw some chatter on social media. There's not normally betting lines for FBS against FCS, but I saw some chatter that San Diego State's listed in some circles as a 34.5-point favorite over Texas A&M Commerce. So we'll see if that's the case or not. What are you reacting to? Our internet?
Just like your computer.
Great. Next question.
The Padres are 12-1 odds to win the World Series at Circa. Is that a good value?
12-1. It's just probably the best you're going to get right now, because the more they win, the more those odds are going to get lower and lower for this team. So right now, this is probably the best you're going to get.
Yeah, I think 12-1. I mean, if we were here in July, we probably could have gotten them around 40-1, truthfully. But then again, they have the best record in baseball in the second half of the season, 22-6. So I think they've earned that 12-1, and it will get shorter, I think, as the regular season goes on. They continue to play like this or stay close to the NL West, they got a chance to maybe get inside 10-1 to win a World Series this year. So I think it's reasonable. You could have gotten real value on it 3 weeks ago, probably 30-1. But even at 12-1, the way they're playing, I think it's worth a flyer. $10 pays $120, $100 pays $1,200. If you're a Padres fan, why not? Why not bet on the Padres? Who are playing some of the best baseball right now in the majors. All right, let's get to the next question.
How many games will Danny O'Neill start for the Aztecs this season?
I'm going to say let's see here. I'll say he starts. We'll see if I go 9 games, then he should just start the whole year. But I'll go with right now over under 5.5. I'll go the over there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you name a week 1 starter, and if you can keep him healthy, I think he's going to make a lot of starts. I think that's the biggest factor is probably his health. And you got some options. There's no question about it. We've talked about A.J. Duffy. We've talked about Javance Johnson, and you should be realistic. He's a true freshman. Like, you're not going to be perfect, obviously, out of the gates as a true freshman. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good – you said 9. I mean, that's a good number. I'll go with you there. We said 5.5 was the over-under on wins. I'll take the over on that for starts for Danny O'Neill as well. I'll say 6+ starts for Danny O'Neill. I hope it's much more than that. But I'll say 6+ starts for Danny O'Neill in year 1, his true freshman year as an Aztec. Next question.
Who's had the better second half, Bogarts or Manny Machado?
Well, Xander Bogaerts has almost a 350 average in the second half. But to me, Manny Machado has been better, more impactful, because Xander's not going out there hitting for power a lot. Like he's hitting gap to gap. He has a I think like an 8. He has an OPS in the 800s. But Manny Machado, to me, what he has done in the second half, and ever since I think the calling himself out day, has been amazing. So I'll take Manny Machado.
Manny Machado and Xander Bogaerts have both been so good here in the second half of the season. And who really expected it out of Bogaerts? It's been such a pleasant surprise. We expected it 2 years ago when he got here, but the way he's played over the last month is really encouraging. I would still lean towards Machado because of the power. The one thing that's lacked with Bogaerts is the power. He's hit 2 home runs since coming back, which is fine. He's hit 350, 360. But Machado's had the power, and I think they kind of need a little bit of Machado's power. Like when you think about this lineup without Fernando Tatis Jr., Jackson Merrill's given you a lot of power over the last 2 months, but this isn't the most power-laden offense. We've always joked about like the power of friendship innings, like Too Much Morton's has talked about.
Right.
This hasn't always been the team that runs into 4 home runs in a game. They've had it, but this isn't Soto Judge in New York. This is more station to station, bat on ball, take advantage of walks, every once in a while run into a ball. But I think they've needed Machado's power because you're not counting on it, I would say, with Xander Bogaerts.
You need Machado in the middle of that lineup to give you, 30 and 100 or close to it.
Yep.
Because Xander's not that guy. He's got 6 home runs this year. And I think when you look at Xander, he's never going to be a 25 to 30 home run hitter.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be tops 15 to 20. If lucky 1 year, he'll get 25. But the older he gets, I just don't see him ever being that power guy that maybe they kind of wanted. Again, it doesn't mean that he can't be impactful for this team, but when you are getting paid the money you're getting paid like Xander is, you gotta be productive in different ways if you're not going to hit 30 home runs. And right now, getting on base as much as he is and hitting for a super high average, like you tell me right now, Xander Bogaerts gives you on average a 290 year with a 810 OPS, you take that every day.
The one thing he's always been, and you're right, even when he was a 25-year-old, like what's his career high in home runs? Did he have a 30 home run season?
I think he did, yeah.
So, but he's always been
He did.
He's always hit for average, though. He hasn't always hit.
He's a career 290 hitter.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's hit for more power, obviously, than someone like Luis Ariz, who's just like a guy that's able to get on base and find holes. That's what he's done with routine, and it's a great skill. Bogaerts has been more gap to gap than Ariz, but you're right. I think even when they signed him, I don't think we were counting on 30 home run season after 30 home run season. We were counting on a guy that maybe could hit 300 here.
Yeah,
that could consistently hit 300. And boy, has he done that here in the second half of the year. I mean, he's not hitting 300. He's closer to 400. He's at 360 in the second half of the season or since he's come back. So, again, is he going to hit 360 from now until the end of the regular season and postseason? I don't know. But honestly, I would take 310 from here on out, and I think he's capable of doing it based on what we've seen.
He's brought his average up to, 270?
Something?
Hold on, let me see this here. His OPS still isn't that great overall. But, since he returned, it's been fantastic. Right now, let me just do this. Okay, nope, that's not it. Not Jerson Profar. Xander Bogaerts right now is hitting 274 on the season. That's really good. It for where he was when he returned, when it was like 219. Again, the OPS is still down, but it's about what have you done for me lately, and what have you done for me lately. Xander Bogaerts has been really, 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 really good for this team.
Yeah, no, he has. He's been unbelievable. All right, coming up, we're going to give away tickets. Again, I told you we have Def Leppard tickets. We'll do that this hour. On the other side, why don't we give away tickets to 311 AWOL Nation Neon Trees, Sunday, August 25th. This is just about a week away. No, less than that. Excuse me. That's coming up this weekend. It's 4 days away. Sunday, August 25th. We have 311 tickets. Great venue, Cal Coast Credit Union Open Air Theater. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. We'll tell you when to call. We've mentioned the fact that the Padres without Ha-Seong Kim have been using Tyler Wade. Why not Xander Bogaerts, who has spent a lot of his career as a shortstop? Why not move him from second to short? Well, Xander's weighed in on that. We'll have reaction to that on the other side. Plus, we're giving away 311 tickets. Tim Murray from VSiN will join us coming up at 5:30. We're at Circa in Las Vegas. It's Jon and Jim. Hi, Jon and Jim back with you. Circa in Las Vegas, broadcasting live each of the next 2 days, getting you ready for the NFL season. We'll have guests from Circa tomorrow. Jason Horowitz, voice of the Raiders, will join us tomorrow as well. They have 2 amazing contests that you can sign up for right now in Las Vegas at Circa. Circa Million has $6 million guaranteed. You just make 5 picks against the spread every week for your chance to win at Circa Million. And then there's Circa Survivor. You make 1 pick each week, lasts the longest, and you can win $10 million guaranteed. You enter at Circa. You can play from San Diego. Get here to play before the start of the NFL season. More information at circasports.com.
Yeah, Circa is amazing. Our biggest thing right now is we're trying to figure out where to eat tonight.
I know.
It's
text at 70470 started with team. Everyone listening has been to Las Vegas at some point.
Or if you're in the YouTube chat now.
Where should we go to eat? There's an all-you-can-eat sushi place we always hit up, but we've already done it a couple times within the last year. So do we go back to that well? Or there's truly like 1,000 restaurants here.
There really is. I don't know where to go. Now, the problem is Mr. Tofu over here.
And you can't really take John to the Heart Attack Grill.
No, not
well,
there.
There's a famous steakhouse in Circa that we can't really do because I'm not eating steak.
No. They do have
they probably won't
mac
even let
and
John
cheese
in
there.
What's that, Brent?
They probably won't even let John in.
They might not even let me in. No, I'm not going to a steakhouse and getting mac and cheese.
Yeah, I know.
All right, when I could just use I could just get Annie's or whatever it's called, mac and cheese. So if you have a suggestion, 70470 started with team. Now, we mentioned a moment ago that Xander Bogaerts has played really well, obviously, in the second half of the season, but he's still playing second base with Ha-Seong Kim out. Of course, he's been a shortstop for a bulk of his career. Why haven't they just simply moved him from second to short? Well, he weighed in yesterday and said, you know what? I've gotten comfortable at second base, and I would do it occasionally if necessary. He's already done it in a 9th inning, but it's not as easy as we make it out to be. For him, he's saying, going back and forth between second and short. So I think some of this has to do with preference, and Xander Bogaerts, it seems like right now, is comfortable at second base.
And I'm cool with that. That's fine.
That's a good reason, yeah.
It's a good reason, but, you also got to try to put your best lineup out there every day, and if Xander's going to play second base, then you have options with Donovan Solano. You could play shortstop. Hell, Jake Cronenworth could be over at shortstop, even though when's the last time he played short? A couple years ago? It's been a while for him.
Seems like it's been a while.
But I think this conversation, honestly, John, isn't that big of a deal because I don't think Ha-Seong Kim is missing too much time. I really don't. Now, if he does in a month from now, it's September 21st, and we're like, Ha-Seong Kim, where are you? Then yeah, but having Donovan Solano on your bench more than in the lineup every day
is a little odd if you're not 22-6.
I'm not super thrilled about that because I want to see Donovan Solano out there as much as possible. Now, he does strengthen your bench. With Donovan Solano on your bench, it makes your bench pretty damn good.
Look at yesterday. They're down 2.
Yeah.
He singles on a 2-strike pitch before Profar homers.
Right.
There was Solano, then Arise.
Yeah.
Solano 2 strikes, Arise 2 strikes, Profar hits the go-ahead game-winning 3-run home run.
And I just love his approach every time he's called upon, that he's ready every single moment, every single situation he's ready for. And more often than not, he comes through. If this team needs a big-time double, they get a double from him. They just need him to get on base. He gets on base. He puts together a good at-bat every single time. Why was this guy, at his house to start the season?
Because it's Major League Baseball, and sometimes guys do even fall through the cracks. He's 37. You got a 37-year-old. Other organizations have 29-year-olds that they're more vested in than the 37-year-old on the streets. But you're right, professional hitter. We said it when they signed him. Wasn't a power hitter, but hits for average. And by the way, he's hit for everything for the Padres this year. He's been Mr. Clutch.
This year, Donovan Solano is hitting .307 with a .783 OPS and 205 at-bats.
That's amazing.
It's not a small sample size.
No, not at all.
And you look at his last couple years, John, really 2020 was the year. Sorry, 2019 was really the year where you're like, whoa. When he got picked up by the Giants, he played 81 games. He hit .330 with an .816 OPS in 83 games for them. And ever since 2019, John, here's what Donovan Solano has done for whoever he's played for. He's played for how many teams? 1, 2, 3. He's played for 4 different teams since 2019. And he just continues to produce 330 average in 2019, 326 average in a short 2020 season, 280 average in 2021, 284 in 2022, 282 last year, 307 this year. Again,
Guy hits.
why was he just not with the team? Thank God he wasn't, because where would this team be without Donovan Solano this year?
It is a good point. Like the thing about Profar when they signed him was like, well, Profar's been up and down. He hasn't always hit for average. He's had bad years in there. Now he's happened to have his best years as a member of the Padres. You know, we've been preaching like, Jerks and Profar, you can't go anywhere in 2025. You know, there's some interesting points to be made for guys like David Peralta and Donovan Solano. You're not bringing everyone back.
No, you're not.
And guys are getting older. Peralta's not a kid. Solano's not a kid.
No.
Profar's not a kid,
No,
but Profar's much younger than the other two.
Right. And those are definitely conversations that we will have.
Oh, we'll have them
after this team wins the World Series.
Exactly. Yeah.
But they are things that you'll have to think about, because bringing back this team as it's constructed right now next year, that never works. Like it never
works.
It never works. Like, hey, we need to bring back everybody to go for it again. It just doesn't work that way.
No, there'll be changes. There'll be tweaks.
Yeah.
There'll be additions, subtractions.
But next year's next year. The offseason is the offseason when it happens. Right now, they're looking to get a sweep versus the Twins.
Yeah, that's what matters.
Keep playing good baseball. And hopefully, you know, the Dodgers stumble here and you can take advantage of it, and you can get closer to the Dodgers in the National League West. They're 3 back of the Dodgers right now. The Marlins are playing the Diamondbacks as we speak. I believe the Marlins currently have a lead over the D-backs today. Let me just check this right now.
Yeah, what's the update there? It's 3-2 D-backs.
They did have a lead.
Yep.
But now they don't have a lead anymore.
So now the D-backs lead. Right.
Yeah.
D-backs are leading 3-2. Dodgers, Mariners is tonight. Mariners have fallen off.
Yeah, thanks for nothing, Seattle.
But still, a chance to lower a magic number to make the postseason. Maybe a chance to either gain a game on LA or create separation against Arizona, depending on scores here today. All right, I promised 311 tickets. In fact, we did. We're giving them away right now to caller 3. Get it? Caller 3.
Oh,
You've got actually caller 311.
Yes,
no.
sorry, Brent.
Caller 3 to 877-767-4760. You have 2 free tickets to see 311 with AWOL Nation and Neon Trees Sunday, August 25th at the Cow Coast Credit Union Open Air Theater. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. Caller 3, 877-767-4760. That's 877-767-4760. You've got those free tickets to see 311. On the other side, football's back, not just in the NFL and college, but also in high school. There's a new state law that could wreak havoc on high school football this weekend in the state of California. What is it? We'll share it with you on the other side. We're at Circa in Las Vegas. It's Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by Mattress Firm. Padres Twins, final game of the 3-game series. Padres going for a sweep, but right now they trail the Twins 1-0 in the top of the third inning there. Other news with the Padres today, they have sent down Matthew Batten after just 1 day and brought up Mason McCoy. Yeah, Mason McCoy to the big league roster. They transferred Fernando Tatis Jr. to the 60-day IL. Don't worry, Fernando Tatis Jr. has been on the IL and will be on the IL for 60 days, so this is just standard procedure. It's Matt sale of the year, Labor Day sale. Save up to $900 on select adjustable mattress sets from Stearns and Foster, Tempur-Pedic, and Sealy. Plus, get up to a $300 instant gift for pillows and more.
Jon and Jim from the Circa in Las Vegas, where we have Def Leppard tickets to give away later this hour. Tim Murray, Vegas Sports Information Network, VSiN, will stop by at 5:30. We'll keep you updated on Padres and Twins, as Jim has been doing. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. Because we're at Circa in Las Vegas. If you were entering one of these two contests, which one would you enter and why? Circa Million is the one that, first of all, both of the contests are $1,000 to enter. You enter in Vegas, then you play from anywhere throughout the course of the year.
Yep.
So Circa Million, you make 5 picks against the spread every week.
Right.
The top 100 pay. Plus, there's other ways to win. As in, you don't have to come in first place. You finish the top 100, you win. If you come in last place, you do truly win. There's other ways to win. And that's every week. So it's not Survivor. It's not like you're out in the first week if you lose. It's 5 picks against the spread in the NFL every week. So there's that. Or there's Survivor, $10 million on the line. You get one right. You continue to go along. You're the last one standing. And you're either getting $10 million or you're sharing the $10 million with the last people standing in the contest.
Yeah,
which are you entering?
I'm entering the first one.
Circa Million.
I'm entering Circa Millions, yeah. To me, that has the better percentage to get paid out.
126 ways to win.
Yeah.
Circa Million.
Yeah, to me, Circa Survivor, you could win more money, but it's also...
It's like one person wins. This is 100 people in Circa Million.
Yeah. To me, I want the best chance to win money, and Circa Millions is the chance that I have at winning some good time money there.
All right. Here's a serious question for you. I'm dead serious on the air.
Okay.
At what percent of 1K would you go in on it? As in, if we split this thing like 10 way for $100, would you do it?
Yeah.
You'd do it at 10 way.
Yeah.
Would you do it at 8 way? That's 125.
I would do anywhere between 100 and 150.
Okay.
Just because
let's see if we can figure that out.
Just because I'm soft and I don't.
And you could always be like
you
could be 150 of it, and I could be the other 850. Except that would cost me.
I am like
You're soft.
The softest, biggest wussy when it comes to betting out there. Like, I get scared going to the $5 blackjack table, if there's even a $5 blackjack table out there. And if there is, and it's usually full every night.
Yeah. See, you're better than me because I don't even do that.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just I'll do it, and then if I win $5, or if I go to the $15 blackjack tables, which are more common, if I like win one hand, I feel like, okay, I'm done. Like, I won $15, I'm good.
So, are you going to join me tonight when I'm playing $400 hands?
You are a guy that will randomly just put $100 on.
Oh, 100%. I'll play $100 on roulette tonight.
Yeah, Jones's college fund on black.
Listen,
go.
Here's the thing with the college fund: if he's really smart or a good athlete, he can go kind of for less anyway.
You know, those degrees aren't worth what they used to be, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, the scholarship.
The people that just like, I have a buddy who,
Jim fact.
I have a friend.
That's the story.
That's it. The end of the story.
I like it.
I have a buddy that I've been to Vegas with him before.
Yeah.
And he's the type of guy that will put $100 down on one hand of blackjack.
Just like that.
And if he wins,
he'll walk.
He'll double or nothing. And if he wins again, he'll triple or
nothing.
So
you've seen him maybe walk away with like 1K, and you've
Yeah.
seen him lose $200, $300, $400, $500.
But I've also seen him put like $1,000 down on black.
Yeah.
I've seen him enter, big time poker tournaments.
Yep.
Like, to the point where I remember one time he's like, Jim, can you lend me like $500?
And you're like, let me answer that.
And and I will pay you back plus an additional $300. And I'm like, what?
What are you, like a credit union?
It got to a point where like I had to say, dude, I can't do this anymore because it took them forever to pay me back.
1-800-GAMBLER. Remember,
I
if
know.
you've got
Yes,
a problem.
Yes,
Now you know how Tani's interpreter felt.
www.ncpgambling.org.
Did you? He said, now you know how Tani's interpreter felt.
Yeah, I do. That's a good one, Brad. Very good.
Okay, I mentioned this heading into this segment. Listen to this, guys, because I don't think either of you know where I'm going.
I don't.
There is a new state law in the state of California.
Oh, cool.
That has to do with the temperature when practice.
Kogo?
When practice occurs in all sports or when games occur. And no, we're not Kogo, but listen to this. Listen to this. There are 3 categories of schools. I guess it depends on where you are in the state. Most San Diego section schools cannot start a game when the temperature is over 86.2 degrees this year. Remember, the high school football season starts this week. And if the temperature is over 86.2 degrees, they're not playing. There's other areas that are inland. They have a category that has 89.9 degrees that are more inland. And then the final category is 92 degrees. That's further inland. But you can't start a game in any sport in the state of California, depending on the area, if the temperature is over 86 or 89 or 92 because of, heat stroke, heat-related injuries, and exhaustion.
The problem is it gets hot.
Yeah, that's the issue. Yeah, you're right. Is it smart? Yeah, it's probably very smart, but it is also August in the state of California. And are you going to not be able to play games for weeks on end because you're in the midst of, whatever it is?
Like, we all know what happened in day one, Snapdragon Stadium, the hottest day and hottest game on record in the history of San Diego
County. Yeah.
County.
Mm-hmm.
More than any Chargers game, any previous Aztec game. It was the hottest day for a game ever. And to me, San Diego State could have done, there was nothing they could possibly do.
No, the game's on TV.
It.
It's on CBS National.
But truthfully, there should be no way any football team should have played in that weather. I mean, that was insane. It was just beyond hot. It wasn't safe for the football team. And again, nothing anybody could have done about it. Right, because it was a CBS national game, and they chose to take the 12:30 slot. But again, I think for especially high school kids, dude, having them go out there when it's that hot, it is dangerous. Like, there will be a day, unfortunately, where a kid passes out or something happens, and I'm sure it has happened before. We just haven't read about it.
Sure.
So health and safety of the kids should be at the utmost importance. And for me, if you don't play for 3 weeks, so be it. If I'm a parent. And John, I mean, if Jones playing football, telling me you would not be okay with them not playing in 100-degree weather?
Dude, I don't have Jones playing putt-putt when it's over 78.
Exactly.
To your point,
are most games at night anyways?
Yes, most are at night. So you're right.
Good.
So a lot of the games are going to qualify for the temperature restrictions because you're right, Brent, especially as the sun starts setting earlier. But like week 1, when it's the middle of August and the sun's still up until the evening.
Like I was thinking about this when we were flying into Vegas, and it was interesting because we were flying in, and I looked out the window and I saw a lot of football fields, a lot of parks.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're
looking at that sun beating down.
And the one thing that I saw was they were all empty. There was nobody outside here. Which why would you be outside?
Because it's 100 degrees.
But school has started, and football is right around the corner for high school. And like places like Vegas, I mean, it's different because it's not California, but how do they do it? It's crazy.
How do you even live here all summer long? We've talked to my buddy Tim Murray about that. How about this a year ago? Remember when I was broadcasting a high school football game from Ramona High School and we were on the stream? They're like people walking behind me and like coming down ladders.
Ever, yeah.
That day in Ramona, which is so far inland, and again would qualify for these new rules. That day in Ramona, you couldn't have played. The temperature was in the 90s that day in Ramona. You wouldn't have been able to play. Yeah. On that day. And by the way, my guess is, I haven't looked it up, but if they're trying to play a game in Ramona this week, my guess is the temperatures are going to be probably once again in the 90s.
Probably.
Because it's August in the state of California. So it's interesting. It's something to keep an eye on. And, you kind of adapt or die a little bit. So you do understand. You're right. Safety's got to be at the front and center when you're talking about high school sports. These are very young individuals. You're talking about 14 and 15-year-olds that are playing high school sports. Yep. Yeah, and 16 and 17. But safety's got to be of utmost importance. So it's something we'll keep an eye on, something that'll be interesting to track here throughout 2024, throughout the state of California. We've been giving away Def Leppard tickets this hour all week long, so we're going to continue to do that. We're not going to do it now, but we'll tell you when to call. It'll be on the other side. We'll give away tickets to see. This is as good of a giveaway as maybe we've had this week, and we've had a lot of good ones. It's Def Leppard, it's Journey. It's the Summer Stadium Tour with special guest the Steve Miller Band. You see it advertised a ton if you've been watching Padres games. It's coming up Friday, August 30th at Petco Park. So we've got Def Leppard tickets. We'll give them for you. We'll give them away for you coming up later this hour. The update from Petco Park is it's been a good pitcher's duel early. Twins have a 1-0 lead on the Padres in the third.
Even though this dude, Woods Richardson, has got 56 pitches with 2 outs in the third.
Yeah, he's thrown a lot of pitches.
They had the bases loaded, the Padres did, in the first inning. Couldn't get a run across. Jackson Merrill was up with the bases loaded, flied out to center. Again, when the Padres are trailing right now at this point of the season, this doesn't faze me at all.
Not at all. Not by a run.
Doesn't faze the Padres. Doesn't faze, I think, fans. Doesn't faze us. You're like, okay. Like, I feel like they're going to come through. And if they don't, it's not the end of the world. You're like, okay, they don't lose confidence over it.
Mm-hmm.
They lose a game. If they're trailing in the game 4-1, they don't come back and win. It's not like, oh, my God, we lost that magic. No, they don't feel that way.
No, they don't. And even today, and you'd love to sweep another series. I mean, you're playing as well as anyone in the sport. But even going into today, knowing you've won a series, puts you in a position that is enviable for most teams. They've won 9 of their last 10 series. All right, updates from Petco. We're at Circa in Las Vegas. We've got Def Leppard tickets to give away on the other side, plus some interesting data to make this point. Is it more of a women's sports effect going on television right now, or is it a Caitlin Clark effect that's playing out on television here in 2024? We'll get into some of the numbers on the other side. Plus, we'll give away Def Leppard tickets coming up next on Jon and Jim. Back with you here, San Diego Sports 760. Jon and Jim Circa in Las Vegas until 6 p.m. We're here today and tomorrow. By the way, their NFL contest going on right now. It is not too late to enter. You need to enter by the start of the NFL season, which is 2 weeks from tomorrow. Get to Circa, then play from anywhere, including in San Diego. We'll spend a lot more time on it over the next couple of days. Tim Murray from VSiN here in Vegas will join us coming up at 5:30. Listen, I don't think it's completely fair to be like what happened to Matt Waldron, but I think it is fair to say Matt Waldron has not pitched nearly as well here recently as he had been throwing it earlier this year. And now today he's allowed 4 runs in less than 4 innings, including 3 runs now in the 4th. The Twins have opened up a 4-0 lead on the Padres. You look at Waldron's last 3 outings, they have not been good.
Yeah. So his last 7 starts, he's got almost a 6 ERA, John.
Does that include today or no?
I don't think that includes today. It might. I don't know how this works, but
yeah.
Anyway, if I'm looking at his last couple starts here, you got Colorado, his last start, 5 2/3, gave up 7 runs. August 10th versus Miami in Miami, 4 1/3, gave up 5 runs. He pitched well August 4th against the Rockies at home, 5 2/3, gave up 1 run. Then his previous 2 starts before that, against the Dodgers, gave up 5 runs in 4 innings, and then gave up 3 runs in 6 innings on July 24th at Washington.
Is this just running out of gas?
I unfortunately think this is him running out of gas, John. This is the most innings he's pitched in his big league career. And for a knuckleballer, it's so tough to go through an entire season and pitch really, really well and pitch like R.A. Dickey.
Right. It's the most innings he's thrown in his professional career.
Yeah.
Not just because a year ago, he threw 130 innings between AAA and the major leagues. But this year he's already blown by that. He's over 140 innings as we speak right now. He's at 142 innings. It's only August. I mean, he's pacing to throw something like 180 innings. What real options do they have with the rotation in the absence of Yu Darvish? I mean, you're throwing Martin Perez. You're throwing Joe Musgrove. I think you're going to continue to throw Matt Waldron, especially when you consider the team has been as good as they've been here in the second half of the year. But, yeah, he's left a lot to be desired here recently, including here today against the Twins, who have now opened up a 5-0 lead, and he's in danger of about to be chased right now in the 4th inning.
Yeah, thank goodness Musgrove is back. Because
yeah, you're right.
If not for Joe pitching well and hopefully building on this and getting stronger and stronger with every outing going into the stretch run here in September, then to your point a couple weeks ago at the deadline, then it becomes very worrisome because if you only have 2 guys in your rotation pitching well and then the rest are just blah mediocre, I mean, that puts a lot of pressure on the offense every single night. And Waldron, he's given this team innings. Like if he continues to pitch this thing out, makes every start from here to the end of the season, I mean, he could be around 180 innings. That's really good. Like coming into this year, the questions were, where is this team going to get innings from losing Blake Snell? And we didn't know that they were going to trade for Dylan Cease. So good on Matt Waldron for giving you that many innings, but at the same time, I think his stuff is definitely come back down to earth, and he is getting hit hard here of late.
Yeah, like all of a sudden, I mean, the numbers are what they are, and they tell a story, and he's got a 4.51 ERA as we sit here right now. So that's come up a full run or more over those 7 starts you've talked about. And it's not to say this should be his last start in the big leagues even this year. I think you probably need him, and I think you have enough margin for error that you can throw him out there and hope that he's capable of rebounding over the final 5 or 6 weeks of the regular season. But I was thinking and hoping that today would be the bounce back because he hadn't thrown well his last 2 times out, and that has not been the case at all. Again, 5 runs are in. He's allowed now, as we watch a 3-run home run from the Twins, he's allowed now 8 runs on 10 hits in this game. He's allowed 8 runs on 10 hits. So he's completely blown up in this game. It'll happen. This can happen with pitchers. There can be games like this. Absolutely. But this has not been fun to watch here today. That's for sure.
No, it hasn't. The Matt Waldron, I'm not going to say year, but him pitching well, I don't know if that's going to be something the Padres can count on too much going into September here, which is unfortunate. Like, he's been a huge – I just praised him to start the show that without Matt Waldron, you know, who knows where this team is at, because he was the stopper on that Wednesday afternoon in Philly when the Padres were staring down a 6-game winless road trip. And then, you know, he went to go on and pitch really well for them for like a month and a half. Now it feels like the gas is running out on Waldron's season. Hopefully we're wrong. Hopefully he can turn this thing around and Niebla can fix him here and have him be fixed quickly. But I mean, dude, his last, I just read off his numbers.
Well, they're only going to be worse, a lot worse.
It's not good.
Well, let me ask it this way. As you approach the postseason, is he anywhere near even your fourth starter spot? Probably not. I think he's all of a sudden pushed to your fifth spot because you've got probably a veteran like Martin Perez. You're going to get Yu Darvish, hopefully. I mean, I say that. I'm probably speaking out of turn. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I don't think Matt Waldron, I don't even know if he's going to be on a postseason roster, to be honest. And maybe that's over-exaggerating right now because we're watching this play out in real time. But again, Matt Waldron has allowed 10 hits and 8 runs, including 7 runs in the fourth inning, and now he's just wearing it. They're just leaving him out there to wear it. Sean Reynolds just got up, and we'll see if they can eat some innings with Matt Waldron, although how much is he really going to eat at this point? All right, we promised Def Leppard tickets. Let's do that right now. Caller 7, you've got 2 free tickets to see Def Leppard at Petco Park Friday, August 30th. It's coming up. 877-767-4760. Caller 5, 2 free tickets. See Def Leppard Friday, August 30th at Petco Park. 877-767-4760. More thoughts on what this means for the Padres moving forward to kick off hour 3. Plus, Tim Murray, VSiN will join us at 5:30. We're at Circa in Las Vegas until 6 p.m. It's Jon and Jim. And we've told you throughout the course of the day, we're at Circa in Las Vegas. It is truly paradise for a sports fan. We're at the Cabanas at Stadium Swim right now. We were here last month. We're here today and tomorrow broadcasting live from Circa, a sports lover's dream. You have to see their sports book. It's incredible. You can bet on the Padres to win the World Series at 12-1 odds right now. And Stadium Swim, it's got 6 rooftop pools, a massive outdoor video board the Padres are on right now. You can watch every single game across all sports. It's open, in fact, 365 days a year, and it's a 21-plus venue. There's nothing to worry about other than sports. Trust us on that. We've been telling you over the course of the show about the biggest pro football contest in Las Vegas. They're back here in 2024. You need to get here before the start of the NFL season. Circa Survivor and Circa Million, now up to $16 million in guaranteed prizes with 2 ways to win and no rake. Circa Survivor contestants select one team each week with no point spread. And if you last the longest to win it all, there's $10 million guaranteed. And in Circa Million, make 5 picks against the spread each week for your share of $6 million guaranteed. They have quarterly payouts, full season payouts. You enter right here in Nevada or Vegas, but you can play from anywhere, including in San Diego. So visit circasports.com. That's circasports.com for details.
Should I post? All right, this update is brought to you by AutoZone. Score update in the Padres-Twins game as the Padres are looking for a sweep of the Twins. It's going to be pretty difficult to do that now. They trail the Twins 8-0 in the bottom of the fourth inning. Matt Waldron has imploded in this game. Other news of the Padres today, Matthew Batten has been sent down for Mason McCoy, and the Padres put Fernando Tatis Jr. on the 60-day IL. That's just standard procedure because Fernando Tatis Jr. has been on the IL coming up here almost 60 days. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions do apply. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Getting you all set for that drive home.
Later this hour, the way Michael King speaks of Jackson Merrill is the way I speak of my 5-year-old son, Jones.
It's the way I speak of like lightsabers,
Like he just looks so happy.
like a sparkle.
Yes, exactly.
I like neither one of you. Like, yeah, that's how I talk about the other one.
No, it's not how I talk about Jim. I
don't
talk about
John
Jim
like that.
I
no.
talk about Jim like it's a true crime documentary.
Informative murder porn?
Right? Yeah, he wants me to be on a Netflix true crime documentary.
There are so many good ones.
There are a lot of good
Aren't
ones.
there some good ones?
It's a tale of lust, seduction, and murder on sexy betrayals.
We want more murder documentaries now.
Some like their murder with a side of sexy biscuits on Southern Fried Homicide.
I love the
Yeah.
mystery part of it. I don't love the fact that like
No,
those
the
things
people are
happen,
gone. No, nobody
obviously.
loves it. You're not pro-murder.
I love the murder part
Right,
of
no,
it.
anti-murder.
No, I'm not. I want them to find the person that did it. I want them to put them to justice. I want to know every single step how they got there.
I can't wait till they throw his hapless butt in jail.
Let's just start the show. Here's Jon and Jim.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Final hour of Jon and Jim from the Circa in Las Vegas. We'll be here through tomorrow's show as well. And, of course, we're reacting to everything going on across sports, including down at Petco Park right now where the Padres are trying to sweep the Twins. If they do that, it will be in remarkable fashion because they're trailing right now.
This might be
in
the win of the
fourth
year.
inning. Yeah, they've had a lot of wins of the year, but they're trailing 8-0. This is a classic example, by the way. And I think a lot of people are probably tuning in because it's 8-0 in the Padres game. This is a classic example of you had a chance in the first inning to make this thing completely different. And I'm not blaming anyone.
No,
they just didn't capitalize. They had the bases loaded, 2 outs. They had the starter for the Twins completely on the ropes. You've thrown 30 pitches.
Yeah.
You have Jackson Merrill, who's been brilliant.
Yep.
If he rips a double down the right field line, who knows what happens?
Yeah.
It doesn't happen. He gets out of it. And then Waldron just had a blow-up inning, a 7-run fourth inning, and he just had to wear it. And the Twins now are leading 8-0 in the fourth inning. We've seen a comeback like this before, but obviously you're asking for a ton at this point if you're a Padres fan today.
A lot. And the only good news that you could look at right now is that the Miami Marlins has just taken a 5-3 lead over the Arizona Diamondbacks. And hopefully Seattle can get their S together tonight and take care of business and beat the Dodgers for once in their lives. So the big picture could still be like nothing changed after tonight if the score holds in Miami with the Marlins leading 5-3. Wait, are they leading more than that? Because I'm looking at highlights. Okay, now
they are.
They are. They're up 6-3 over Arizona now. So if Miami can stay on top of Arizona and take care of business there, then today's loss, if the Padres happen to lose, there's still some time. There's still a lot of time left. Who knows? Then it will be a wash. And then hopefully tonight Seattle can actually like win a baseball game for once in their lives and beat the Dodgers. And then it's truly a wash all around.
You can't win every game. I mean, we shouldn't even have to say it. And the truth is, if you are consistently winning series against good teams, that is all you can ask for. I mean, this is a 9th series win in 10 tries, even in defeat. And who knows? We've seen some craziness out of this team.
I think he can hit a 3-run homer here and
they're
boom,
back
game
in
on.
it. But even if they don't come all the way back up the mountain from 8-0 down, you're 22-7 in the second half. You're winning better than 75% of the time since the All-Star game. So you can't complain about that. And you got big series after big series. You're playing good teams.
Yeah.
You're not just going to sweep St. Louis and Minnesota and the New York Mets just because you're playing really well. But if you are taking 2 of 3, you're still putting yourself in a position where you can win 90-plus games, and maybe you're vying for the division with 6 games to play against Arizona and LA this year.
The Twins came in here to Petco with almost the same exact record as the Padres.
They were better by a half game.
You're right. They were better. So the Twins are a good baseball team.
They are,
even though
absolutely.
they're dealing with a bunch of injuries, and you're like, where's Buxton? Where's Correa? Paddock has been injured down for them.
They use their bullpen a ton heading into this
Right.
series.
You haven't seen Duran in this series yet because it hasn't been a game where they've led late. So they're a good team. The Mets are a good team, even though Jesse Winker is a giant douche. And then next week, St. Louis for 4, even though the Cardinals have kind of fallen off here of late. It's still 4 in St. Louis. It's not going to be easy, but the Padres, I do think that they play better when they have a stretch of games versus good teams. I much rather them do that than all of a sudden be facing teams like the Marlins and the Rockies and stuff like that, even though they did go 11-4 in that 15-game stretch versus all those crappy teams.
Yeah, listen, I don't want to be Johnny level-headed.
Do it, be Johnny
but
level-head.
I think you really should be now. Like, I'm not going to go sell you something that I don't believe in. If they're, fighting each and every day for a chance to stay alive in the wild card race, then you'd be really disappointed with the way today has played out. But that's not what's happened. They've separated themselves. They've moved to the top of the wild card race. They're still firmly in the conversation for the NOS. I think you should be level-headed here if you're a Padres fan, because you won in remarkable fashion yesterday. You won the opener of this series. It doesn't matter if you lose this game 8-7 or 18-0. You still have won the series 2-1 in front of the Mets coming here. So honestly, would I love to see them come back and make a game of this? Yeah, absolutely. Everyone would. Am I holding my breath? No, because they've had a lot of come from behind wins, but that doesn't mean every time you're down 8-0, you're going to come back and make a game of it.
Let's not lose 18-0 today, John.
Well, I mean, does it matter in one game what happens here today, 8-0 or 8-7, for example?
No, because like I said, if Miami beats Arizona, and then you'd want the Phillies to beat the Braves, and the stupid Mets have already walked off,
right?
But then you want Seattle to win a baseball game in their existence against the Dodgers, then today will become a complete wash. That's how I view it. The worst case scenario is if every team around you wins and you lose, even though it really wouldn't be considered worst case scenario because, you still got a month left, but that's what you don't want. You want to try to avoid those scenarios at all costs.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And here's the point to make. The wider point is this: 9 series wins in 10 tries. New York Mets coming here for 4, where if you win that series, then, again, you're right where you need to be. Honestly, we said 4-3. We said we'd take a 4-3 homestand. What you're saying there is you take a 2-1 series against the Twins. You're taking a split against the Mets. It's hard to complain about that at this point in the season.
Just don't ask Schulte any deemed negative questions today.
Why'd you get blown out?
No. I can envision it now, John. Here's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Somebody, maybe Ace or AJ, Casavell, maybe Dennis, I don't know. One of them's going to ask about the recent struggles from Matt Waldron.
Ooh.
And Schulte.
What struggles?
Is going to immediately go into praising Waldron for this season. Guarantee it. There will not be one word said from Schulte that will be of a negative tone towards Matt Waldron when he's asked about him today. Guarantee it. Is he still on the mound? He's still on the mound. He's given up 11 hits and 8 runs already in 4 innings.
And honestly, I don't fully understand.
They're trying to get him to to get as many outs as possible. It feels like they're conceding this game.
Well, they're definitely conceding this game by leaving him out there. But I'm wondering this too: if we're saying that Matt Waldron is coming up on pitching and inning restrictions and limits,
I don't think he is, though.
Maybe not. Is he not?
Well, guys, if we had that new MLB rule, they could take him out if. Oh wait, they could just do that anyways.
Oh right, he's got to throw 6 innings. No, whatever. I'm with you on. You leave him out there because you're trailing 8-0, and I don't know if they fully punted on the game, but everyone's punted on a game they trail 8-0.
Yeah. And
how many
teams
teams
is he really
in
going to
baseball
throw his arm out, throwing knuckleballs?
Probably not. And how many teams in baseball this year have come back from 8 runs down, other than the Padres that one day against the Cubs?
And you are in the middle of 18 games in 18 days.
True.
So why take Waldron out in the 3rd when you're kind of thinking to yourself, maybe today's not our day? Let's try to get as many innings or many outs as possible from Waldron today, because we don't want to use our bullpen, because we know that we have a 4-game stretch, 4-gamer coming up here with the Mets, and we are in game what is it?
6.
6 of an 18-game stretch.
Here's the line of questioning that I think could really get under Schilt's skin today. Hear this.
Oh, boy.
What about this type of question? Hey, you're 22-7 in the second half, but more recently you're 3-3 in your last 6. You lost the series. Are you coming back to earth?
Don't even.
Can you imagine? Yeah, I know you've won 9 of 10 series, but
God.
more recently you're 3-3 in your last 6.
Schilt would
Again, all teams over all years are going to have stretches where they're 3-3 over 6 games.
He would
I'm
turn
sorry.
into that anger intensifies meme.
Yes.
He would turn into that anger intensifying meme.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
absolutely.
Couldn't hear you there. Yeah, don't ask Schilty those questions.
It'll be interesting to see what he has to say. Listen, what I'm doing if I'm Mike Schilt after this, if this score holds and you lose 8-1, let's say, or 10-2, if this score just holds like this,
move on.
I'm just moving on, turning pages and saying, good series. We won a series. We trust Matt Waldron. He'll be back out there in 5 days. It wasn't his best day. We'll see you tomorrow against the New York Mets, and we'll try to win tomorrow.
And they have given themselves that luxury, John, to truly be like, whatever, throw that game away, moving on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's not like the end of the world if you lose the game today. It really isn't. And they could easily be in a position where it would feel like that, but it's not. You know, if they're in, like, say, I don't know, like the Giants position where they lost to the White Sox today, it feels like the end of the world for the Giants. It's not the same for the Padres when they lose a game like this, 8-0. If they lose a game like this.
How dare you say if they lose a game? Do you have no faith, by the way?
God,
I joke because I tweeted like, hey, good series. And people are like, how can you give up on this team?
Yeah,
guys, teams trailing by 8 runs in the major leagues this year are like 1-700, and the win is the Padres. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's possible. I'm just not counting on it. The good news is, what do they say? You're as good as your next day's starter. It's Dylan Cease for the Padres tomorrow night. Then it's Joe Musgrove on Friday night against the New York Mets. All right, continued reaction, kind of an early wrap-up show, post-game show here, even though this game still has plenty of time left, but the Padres are trailing the Twins 8-0. We do have Dan and Shay tickets to give away. We'll do that coming up later this hour as well. Tim Murray, VSiN, he'll swing by coming up at 5:30. We're at Circa in Las Vegas. Do not go anywhere. We'll give away Dan and Shay tickets coming up next. That's with Jake Owen and Dylan Marlowe. It's Friday, September 6th at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. Tickets and info at Ticketmaster.com. We'll give those away coming up next on Jon and Jim.
Horrible drive on eastbound 8 now from Mission Bay Drive all the way out past College. You are in some heavy traffic. 2 accidents, one at Taylor, one at College. Both of these accidents blocking lanes. That's what all the slowing is about. Eastbound 52 on and off slowing from La Jolla to Santee. I'm Laura Kane.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free. with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
All right, Jon and Jim back with you here, San Diego Sports 760. Tim Murray, Vegas Sports Information Network, will join us coming up at 5:30. We're at Circa Vegas today and tomorrow. If you haven't been to Circa yet this summer, get here before the start of the NFL season. You can enter to win Circa Million, $6 million guaranteed, Circa Survivor, $10 million guaranteed. We'll tell you more about these contests coming up tomorrow as well. Listen, it's a good series. It's a bad day. It's a good series.
Yeah.
Padres now trailing 9-0 against the Minnesota Twins. And again, Tim Murray's going to join us. We'll put it all in perspective. What are the World Series odds for the Padres? What about their chances of making just the postseason? Talk some San Diego State with them coming up at 5:30. Again, Mama said there'd be days like this. Such is life.
We said that they're going to lose games remainder of the season. Like, they're not going to all of a sudden win 30 in a row and have the longest winning streak in the history of the sport. They're going to have games where they lose. It's just these games haven't come very often recently. I mean, 9-0, John. Like, when's the last time the Padres got their ass kicked this bad? It's been a while.
There's not a lot of examples this year of them losing games like this. There's a few. Like all teams, but there's not a lot. There's a few.
Like today, I mean, it's now 10-0, but the Twins got 13 hits. Padres have 2.
Right.
And like you said, it all came down to that first inning when you had the Twins pitcher on the ropes, bases loaded. He's thrown a million pitches, and you don't score. Right. And that was it. And Waldron has come back to earth in a huge way. And it's now time. It's now where you say, thank God Joe's back. And you start now looking more and more towards what's going on with you, Darvish.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just, even before today's start, John, I'm not starting Waldron in a postseason game. And even after today's start is even more assurance that Waldron in a postseason game, probably not the best idea. Because his stuff, unfortunately, I love Matt Waldron. He's been really good for this team this year in spots. In the postseason, his stuff, that's just, I don't think, going to play. Unless he's on a complete heater with his knuckleball, which he has been before this season. But you going to trust that in the postseason? Knuckleballer? I'm not.
No, it's a fair point. It really is. I mean, listen, it's one game in one season, and it's one game in a season that right now is going very well. So you have to be careful to avoid reacting too much to it. Now, the general point's the general point. That Matt Waldron heading into the year was probably never going to be pitching in the postseason for you, and maybe today is not going to be pitching in the postseason for you in 2024. But here's the thing. I think you have enough available to you that it's not like everything hangs on Matt Waldron's availability or usage in the postseason, right? Like with the Ceases and the Kings and hopefully the Musgroves and even the Darvishes, I'm not necessarily counting on him either way. You know, it's not like you need him to be the pitcher he was the first 2 months of the season to get to where you want to go.
But what you do need is, and we're talking about postseason, right? What you do need to worry about is the rest of August and September, because he's going to go out there and make starts for this team. They're not going to shut him down. They don't. I mean, what are you going to do? Shut him down and bring Johnny Brito and put him in his place? You know, Martin Perez has been fine.
Well, what about the eventual Darvish Waldron? Eventual.
I mean, maybe you could maybe do that, but even then, that's putting a lot of pressure on you to come back soon when maybe he's not ready. And by the way, when he comes back, he's not going to be going 6-7 innings right away. So, like, yeah, we talked a lot about the postseason here and how we both wouldn't have Waldron out there to make a postseason start. Well, he's still going to have to make starts for the regular season. And these games are still important, even though they've given themselves a nice cushion here.
Yeah, maybe it gives you less of a path to a division if he is truly throwing every fifth day over the next 35 games. If he's pitching like this or even close to this.
He's got almost an 8 ERA in August.
But I still think with him pitching every fifth day, you hopefully have enough margin here that you can still put yourself in a position where you're not sweating out the postseason the final day of the year. If that makes so, it's somewhere in between. Yeah, if he's pitching every fifth day, maybe it's hard to win the division. But if he's pitching every fifth day, it doesn't mean all of a sudden you're coming completely back to earth and you're holding on for dear life over the final 5 days of the season.
When was the last game that was like this for this Padres team this year? I mean, I'm hard pressed to find one.
It's not in the second half, is it?
Let me
it's not the Guardians game. They lost big to the Guardians day one, but it was a 1-0 game in the eighth inning.
They lost 7-0. That was a Waldron start. But he pitched well into, I think, the seventh or –
it was 1-0 into the eighth inning in that game.
All right, so let me look here.
It's before the All-Star break, maybe during that 1-6 stretch.
I mean, they're down 10-0 right now, John. To me, the last game that was, I guess, they lost to Arizona July 7th, 9-1. And, to their credit, John, I'm just looking here. This might be – let me just finish looking at their schedule. Yeah, if they lose today 10-0, this will be the worst loss of the season.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And again, so what? You know what I mean? Like, within the general context. I don't mean so what. Of course it matters. I'd prefer they're winning 10-0. But, again, out of the 30 teams, they all have had 9-run games.
Yep.
They've all had a 10-run game. They played 200 times, essentially, over the course of a year.
Yeah, you'd rather lose 10-0 when you're 17 games over 500 than lose 10-0 when you're one game over 500.
And also, to some extent, you'd rather lose 10-0 than to throw everything at it and lose 3-2 by allowing 2 runs in the ninth inning after using Adam and Scott and Suarez and throwing everything at a game that you don't win.
So essentially what you're going to do here is I would assume soon Schilt will take out a couple guys to give them rest.
Absolutely.
And
turn the page.
You turn the page and you look at today's game, not like an off day because you still got up to play and you're still at the ballpark and everything, but you're not using any of your top guys. The bullpen is going to get a rest today. You're going to have Sean Reynolds go out there and pitch till the wheels fall off and just give you as many outs as possible. And you're going to get probably Manny off his feet soon, and you're going to get Bogey probably off his feet soon, and maybe you get Jackson Merrill off his feet and put Bryce Johnson out there. I don't know. Like, you can use this as like a half day. And it's not ideal. You don't want to be like, oh, it's a half day, and it turns into it's a loss. But sometimes you got to, like we say a lot, you say it all the time, lose a battle to win a war. This is the type of game that can be viewed as losing a battle to win a war.
No doubt about it. All right, on the other side, again, the Padres still playing great baseball in the second half. We'll catch up with Tim Murray, Vegas Sports and Information Network, his thoughts on the Padres in terms of a World Series play, a postseason play, and more. Tim Murray is going to join us coming up from VSiN on the other side. But call right now, caller 3. You've got a pair of tickets to see Dan and Shay with Jake Owen and Dylan Marlowe Friday, September 6th at the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater. For tickets and info, go to Ticketmaster.com. Caller 3, 2 free tickets to see Dan and Shay. The number to call, 877-767-4760. That's 877-767-4760 for 2 free tickets to see Dan and Shay. Tim Murray, VSiN, will join us next on Jon and Jim.
If you're the decision maker at your company, we have great news for you, for your HR department, and for your employees. A new and future-forward way to do health benefits is here from Thatch. Not only do your employees get better health benefits with Thatch, but you save an average of $1,620 per employee per year. That's right. You can save over $1,600 per employee per year. Plus, Thatch reduces the time your HR department spends administering benefits. Businesses all over the country love Thatch's breakthrough approach. Rather than a wasteful one-size-fits-all plan, Thatch empowers your employees by letting them customize their own benefits plans. And you save money and time while providing your employees with better health benefits, which works better for everyone. Book a demo with Thatch and we'll send you a $100 gift card. Visit thatch.ai/radio to book a demo for your gift card. That's THATCH.ai/radio. Thatch.ai/radio.
All right, this update is brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Not a good day for the Padres. They won the series. That's good, but they're losing today 10-1 in the bottom of the fifth inning there. Donald Solano just hit a solo home run for the Padres. And this news just in, Keenan Christian, running back for San Diego State, is out 6 to 8 weeks with a ankle injury. So he's going to miss some time here for the Aztecs this season. Big blow there to the running back room. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions do apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
All right, Tim Murray, Vegas Sports Information Network. In a moment, I do want to follow up on what you just said, that Keenan Christian, who suffered an injury in a scrimmage when you were in either Italy or Switzerland. So we always knew that it was a possibility he would miss some time. He went out with an ankle. And Kirk Kenny, like you just reported, saying that Keenan Christian has undergone surgery, and 6 to 8 weeks puts you either in early October or later October. So you're talking about maybe missing either like the first 4 games of the year or up to maybe the first 6 games of the year. But you're looking at a running back room that probably for the first 4+ games of the year is without Keenan Christian. Now you've acquired via the transfer portal Marquez Cooper, the nation's active leading rusher. You have guys like Jalen Armstead, Cam Davis, Lucky Sutton. So I think there's depth in the room, but this was a veteran piece from San Diego that had been here a couple of years. And like you said, it is a loss, obviously, heading into the year.
Yeah. Anytime you lose a dynamic offensive piece,
home run hitter,
that's a loss, man. He had moments last year.
Yep.
And you would think in a Sean Lewis offense that, I mean, people think this is going to be like pass. Do you think that?
No, I don't at all.
I don't think that
I think
at
it'll
all.
be very balanced. I wouldn't be surprised if they run the ball more than they throw the ball early.
I think it will be a fast offense with a lot of running plays from the gun. Like, you're rarely going to see a quarterback under center in this offense, right? What'd you do? Idiot. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh.
Geez.
Wait for John to break the YouTube stream. You know how to do it. Get me back.
Yeah, what
in
are you doing here?
Well, because say what you were saying.
I was going to say that you're going to see a lot of running in this offense.
Absolutely.
And Keenan Christian was probably going to be used a lot with this team. Like, a lot of guys coming at you different angles. Like, it wasn't just going to be one guy. It's going to be a lot of different dudes that could give you some big time burst plays on this offense. And losing him, it is a blow. It does suck, but they do have a pretty deep running back room, and hopefully this doesn't hurt them too much.
Okay, Keenan Christian, according to Kirk Kenny at the UT, will miss 6 to 8 weeks with an ankle following surgery. Great to connect with Tim Murray, longtime friend, Vegas Sports and Information Network. We did this actually earlier, and the first question we discussed with Tim was the general play of the Padres. Even with today, the best record in baseball since the All-Star break. What does he make of the Padres right now?
Well, from a personal standpoint, because that's all that really matters, right? When I talked with you guys at Mountain West Media Days, it was, hey, are we going to get there on this win total, which is what I have from preseason at 83.5. So feel good there. Feel good about to make the playoffs at plus 155. And not that anyone cares about my personal bets. As for this team, I mean, you guys speak about it every single day. They're the real deal, man. And it's wild to think about this offseason. You trade Juan Soto, and now this team is reaching its potential and then some. And, you know, I've talked about this a bunch because I do a daily radio show in Milwaukee, and there's a thought that one of their top prospects is going to come up and be in their bullpen. And that's the name of the game, right? Milwaukee's got Devin Williams and maybe this kid coming up who's throwing like 99. The Padres have that and the ability to shorten the game. So, look, this is a team that I think the schedule for the Dodgers, if I remember correctly, is pretty favorable down the stretch. So it's going to be a challenge to catch them, even though they're, 3 games back as of right now. But, look, this team's legitimately a World Series contender, and the odds would tell you that. I mean, everything seems to be clicking now, and now I guess the biggest worry I would imagine for Padre fans is, are we peaking too early, right?
Yeah.
And that would be the biggest question
Right.
because, you know, we'll get into the odds for NL Rookie of the Year, I'm sure. But Jackson Merrill, my old neighbor, who his high school was 8 minutes from my old house in Maryland,
Wow.
has just been a revelation, man.
Do you feel like they're the trendy pick to win the World Series? Like the team that everybody's going to go hard in on because they are playing so well. I mean, the odds keep going down and down for them or to win the World Series, or up and up, excuse me. Do you feel like that's the case here in Vegas?
Yeah, I think there's 2 teams, and I think they're both in the NL West, and I think it's the Diamondbacks, and I think it's the Padres.
Yeah.
With the Diamondbacks getting healthy, getting their rotation together here, a team that obviously made it all the way, surprisingly, to the World Series just a year ago. They got off to a slow start, and they've been hitting their stride, as have the Padres. So, yeah, I would say the 2 teams from the NL that people will probably say, hey, this is kind of a chic pick, so to speak, would be those 2 teams who very well could be playing each other in the opening round of the postseason. And then I would say on the American League side, Astros are red hot right now, so I think that'll be another team that probably people will gravitate towards. The Astros were 10 games back in that division at the beginning of the year, just like that. The Mariners have completely fallen off the face of the earth, and the Astros are red hot. So I think those three teams from, at least like people on VSiN, those are the teams that it feels like they're targeting right now. We'll see how it ultimately goes, but I would say right now, those are kind of the three teams that I think people would say there's, quote, value on.
Tim Murray, Vegas Sports and Information Network, with us right now. Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. So we're at Circa. The odds on this National League Rookie of the Year race have changed so drastically in such a short period of time. I mean, this was only Paul Skeens for a long period of time, and now all of a sudden, is Jackson Merrill now the front runner in the National League to win this award?
Yeah, there are some books, and I was trying to pull up BetMGM because they were the one in town that had it. Circa, believe it or not, they don't update the National League Rookie of the Year, so I'm going to pull up DraftKings here while we're talking, but while we speak, it's wild, man, and I know we get hyperbolic sometimes. We've never seen this before. I don't know if we've ever seen this before because Paul Skeens, to put it in perspective, like 2 weeks ago was minus 5,000. That's an implied probability of 98%. There were some books who didn't even have it up anymore. It was like, this thing's done. Paul Skeens has got it. And for Jackson Merrill, and here's the thing, too. It's not like Paul Skeens has stunk, right? His last start out, I think he went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, struck out 6. Like, that's not a bad start. His worst start, as I put up air quotes here sitting with you guys, was giving up 4 runs to the Dodgers, and he struck out 8. But Jackson Merrill's just been that good. He's playing every day. He's playing for a high-profile team. Now, it's worth noting, obviously, that it's just odds, right? Odds don't necessarily mean that's going to happen because it is a voted-on award. It's not a situation where we have power ratings, like a point spread, for instance. So that's something that's worth noting. We don't know what these voters are ultimately going to do, but it certainly feels like with the way that Jackson Merrill has been playing as of lately, this is an award that I wouldn't say is his to lose right now, but certainly feels like it is trending that way. And as I pull up the odds right now, these are DraftKings. It is almost essentially a pick 'em. DraftKings has it Paul Skeens minus 120, Jackson Merrill minus 110. So the movement these past 2 weeks has really been unprecedented, and it's, credit to him. And now you got to wonder, the Paul Skeens shutdown discussion. Is he going to be shut down? Are they going to limit his innings? He definitely has shown fatigue. He is not pumping 100 plus every single. I don't think he's touched. I was watching the last start that he had. It was on Apple TV, and they put up a start, and I believe it has now been 4 consecutive starts where he has not touched 100. Now, he's still hitting 98, 99.
Sure.
But he is definitely seeming to labor a little bit. His command isn't fully there like it was in the beginning of the year. And Jackson Merrill just keeps going out there. And every time I go on social media, I see one of you guys tweeting about Jackson Merrill and doing it again. And look, the funny thing is, my show, VSiN Primetime on VSiN, my co-host, Jonathan Von Tobel, he took Paul Skeens at 30-1 preseason, or right around when he was about to be called up, so early in the season. And the dummy in me didn't take it at that price, waited. And then when I saw this market start to come down, I jumped in at minus 160, and that looks like a bad bet right now because the odds are gone. And, we'll see. I think Skeens starts tomorrow, so we could see a little bit more. But, yeah, I mean, Jackson Merrill, I think the fact that he plays every day and for a contending team, he certainly got a great opportunity to win this award.
Yeah, we are at Jackson Merrill House. We fly the Jackson Merrill banners very high.
As you should,
on the Jon and Jim show.
Incredible.
What is your take on, because there's only one Rookie of the Year. There isn't like a pitcher's award for rookies or a position player award for rookies. What is your take on position players and pitchers vying for one single award for Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, it's a great question because obviously we have the MVP and the Cy Young. So, and if you want to do football terms, we have the MVP and Offensive Player of the Year, which essentially is, okay, a quarterback's going to win MVP. We've gone to that. And Offensive Player of the Year will probably be like a running back or a wide receiver. So, yeah, it's tricky. I mean, I think this is just a kind of unique year where we have a pitcher pitching as well as Paul Skeens is. And, don't forget, beginning of the year, Shota Imanaga of the Chicago Cubs was, I don't remember what his peak was, but he was definitely an odds-on favorite, minus 200, somewhere in that ballpark when Skeens got elevated. So, Jackson Merrill really has come out of nowhere. We haven't had, I looked it up today, we haven't had a pitcher win it since Devin Williams in 2020, but that was the COVID season.
Right.
And I think prior to that, I want to say it was like 2014, somewhere in that ballpark. So it doesn't happen that often. I'm fascinated how the final, month is going to play out. Jackson Merrill, as we alluded to, is going to play every single day. Paul Skeens was the face of baseball for like 2 months, man. Like his starts were reminding me as a DC guy of Strasburg starts, like and San Diego State.
Sure.
I imagine you guys had that too. So, but look, I think the fact that he plays every day, to your question, he's going to have the leg up. He's going to be out there every single day and in high-profile games, which I think really helps. If Jackson Merrill, this is pure speculation, but if Jackson Merrill played for the Nationals, is he the favorite to win National League Rookie of the Year? I don't think so. Because
but with the way the team has played,
and I know
team success should factor into it.
I know in Rookie of the Year it normally doesn't, but I think in this particular case it does because he's a very integral part of one of, if not the hottest team in baseball.
Tim Murray-Veason with us for another moment or so. Tim, before you go, obviously we were here in July for Mountain West Media Day. We're getting close to week 0 this weekend. We'll see some Mountain West teams in action. San Diego State downstairs here at Circa at the Sportsbook. The over-under on their win total this year is 5.5. Now, we talked about this with you probably a month ago. How do you feel about San Diego State under Sean Lewis heading into the year in a quest to get to bowl eligibility? Maybe 6
Danny
wins
O'Neal,
here.
starting quarterback now?
True freshman starting quarterback as well.
Can I say I don't know?
Yeah, you can. Of course you can.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. There's so many teams, not so many, but there's a handful of teams in the Mountain West that I don't know. San Jose State, I think they might be bad. However, maybe the spread and shred and Kenny Matalolo is going to be decent. San Diego State, how is this going to mesh right away with Sean Lewis coming in? Look, I think I texted you right away, John, when it happened. I love this hire. And I'm not just saying that because I'm on the flagship of San Diego State Athletics. I think Sean Lewis is awesome for this, for San Diego State. I don't know. I really don't know. And are we going to learn anything week 1 when they take on Texas A&M Commerce? Probably not. So, I think week 2 when they play Oregon State at home is going to be pretty fascinating to see how they are. But look, I would lean more on you guys, for that. But I'll say this. I don't think Boise State should be odds-on favorites to win this conference. I think they should be the favorite, but they're minus 120 here to win this conference. I think you bet the no at minus 110. I think this conference, I think Maddox Madsen's fine. I think people are very much overlooking the fact that Spencer Danielson, albeit a nice guy, jumped on my radio show. I was very grateful that it's the first-time head coach. The pressure is enormous in Boise State. Like, I lived it as a Notre Dame fan with Marcus Freeman. Everyone was like, it's going to be easy. He's going to walk right in. What happened? Week 2, after an Ohio State game, they bleeped the bed against Marshall as a 20-plus point favorite. Then you look at, they played Stanford later in the year after they beat BYU here in Las Vegas. They lost that game to a bad Stanford team. There's going to be hiccups for Spencer Danielson. And whether it's UNLV, whether it's someone else that we're not even thinking of, I think Boise State is going to be a little bit more vulnerable than people are just penciling them in. So that would be my quasi-hottish take, Mountain West style.
Tim Murray, Vegas Sports Information Network. Always great to see you, my friend. Let's do it again soon, all right?
Boys, always a pleasure.
All right, great stuff earlier today here at Circa in Las Vegas. We'll take a time out. Jim's back page is coming up next.
We'll have some slow traffic to contend with on eastbound 8 from OB proper all the way to College, where an accident just cleared out of the right lane. Southbound 163 past the 805 into downtown is slow. Southbound 805 Mira Mesa Boulevard to Imperial. I'm Laura Kane.
I'm Brad Bellis, president of Cable Pipe and Leak Detection. We have been locating utilities and water leaks throughout Southern California for almost 40 years. No project is too big or too small, from residential to commercial and government. CPL does it all. Call 1-800-450-LEAK or cpldetection.com.
Get in the herd.
Belichick guys in the NFL is toxic, and the entire staff, they watch their mentor. Increasingly, these young quarterbacks coming out of college, NIL, they've made $1 million or $2 or $3 or $4 or $5 million. They don't want to put up with this nonsense.
Your coffee break.
You got to be collaborative. You can't be obnoxious and rigid. Belichick, better than all his assistants, 11 years in the NFL without Tom Brady as a starter, 1 playoff win.
Weekday mornings at 9.
San Diego Sports. 760. America's finest sports station.
All right, final time from Circa in Las Vegas. Stadium Swim back here again tomorrow. Getting you ready for the NFL season. That's 2 weeks from tomorrow. If you haven't entered Circa Million or Circa Survivor, you've got 2 weeks to get to Vegas and Circa. And then once you're back in San Diego, you can play from San Diego all season long. Your chance to win $16 million in prizes this season through Circa Million and Circa Survivor. More information at circasports.com. Let's get to this.
So when you think of Chick-fil-A, what do you think of, John?
I think of chicken sandwiches. I think of waffle fries. I think of closed on Sundays.
Yeah, like
that's
chicken,
what I think
chicken
of.
strips, chicken nuggets, like really
maybe
good
lemonade.
Lemonade's very good there. That's what I think of too.
Yeah.
Do you ever think of streaming platform when you think of Chick-fil-A, like HBO
hey, let's
Max
watch
or
like some
Netflix?
chickens?
No, like do you think of Netflix or a streaming platform like
No,
TV?
I think of fast food.
Okay. Well, this is from Deadline. Chick-fil-A is hatching plans, get it, for a streaming service as reality TV comes home to roost. Ha, 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 ha.
What is this? Is this real?
Chick-fil-A is moving aggressively into the entertainment space with plans to launch a slate of originals for its own streaming platform. Deadline understands that the fast food firm has been working with a number of major production companies, including some of the studios, to create family-friendly shows, particularly in the unscripted space, meaning reality television. It's also in talks to license and acquire content.
So, like for $6.99 a month, I get a lemonade and maybe Chick-fil-A Plus.
I don't
like
know,
a chicken
dude.
sandwich or something. What? I mean, come on.
Deadline says that they hear that this includes a family-friendly game show. The company behind the NBC's The Wall, Sugar 23, which is behind series such as Netflix 13 Reasons Why. Deadline understands this show has been handed a 10-episode order.
Are they going to
What?
acquire sports rights? Are they going to get in the game for like the third tier of
Chick-fil-A
NBA?
cool with password sharing?
Yeah, seriously.
I have no idea.
Are we going to be watching the like NBA on Chick-fil-A Plus?
One source told Deadline that it was a positive move for
4K?
the reality TV industry, which has been struggling in recent years. Another source added it was a good opportunity, comparing it to a branded content. Chick-fil-A declined to comment. Why? How?
Would you watch Tuesday Night Mac football on Chick-fil-A Plus?
Hey, man.
In October and November,
Maybe.
I would.
I think I would.
Yeah.
So anyway, there you go.
How much?
You know, John would. John's already looking for the Hawaii app to
Yeah,
watch.
put
this
the Hawaii
week.
game on Chick-fil-A Plus.
I like
Put
it.
Delaware State on there.
I like it. You know the movie Beetlejuice, right, John?
Yeah, it's back.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice.
Do we need a sequel? What happened?
Well, I mean, it's
We don't not need a sequel for it.
Yeah, Beetlejuice,
Right.
I think is one of those movies that's like timeless. You know,
Didn't
like,
it come out in like 86?
Yeah, Tim Burton made it in
A
like
little later
either-
than that, I think.
like the
but
early
89.
90s
Close
or the
enough.
late 80s. But anyway, Denny's has a new Beetlejuice Afterlife menu.
Are they also getting into streaming? Sign up for Denny's Plus to watch Beetlejuice.
Yes. The menu that features
88.
4 items in collab with the new upcoming movie. Here are the 4 items at Denny's.
Okay.
The Beetlejuicy Burger,
Mm-hmm.
the Say It 3 Times Slam, which is 3 over easy eggs or scrambled eggs, 3 pieces of bacon, 3 pancakes topped with green sprinkles, white chocolate, and dark chocolate. You cool with that?
Yes.
The Afterlife Melt and the Cookies and Scream Shake.
Yeah.
So there you go. Just be on the lookout for that. The new Afterlife
Wait,
menu at Denny's.
There's a lot of Beetlejuice sequel promotion stuff because he has his own flavor of Fanta coming out.
Oh,
too.
wow. That's
like
interesting.
Some sort
All
of
right.
sour apple or something.
There we go. Does Jones ever eat Uncrustables?
Maybe he has, but not really. I don't think they're very good for you.
Of course not,
Do
because
you-
they're delicious.
Remember Lunchables?
Do you? Yes, I loved Lunchables.
Dude, those things I like were not good for you.
No.
No.
But I used to love
Do you
them
cut
because
the
I was a
crust
kid.
off of his sandwiches?
Yes. Yes, I have for years.
Well, then Uncrustables is where
It's for him, yeah.
For him,
Yeah.
Raspberry Uncrustables, John, are coming soon.
What do you mean coming soon? They don't exist?
No. Raspberry Uncrustables are coming soon, and this is the flavor combo that we all needed, according to Uncrustables.
Raspberry?
I don't
They're,
like raspberry.
Raspberry spread and peanut butter
Available at Chick-fil-A. Only with the Chick-fil-A Plus membership.
on the Chick-fil-A app.
with Denny's Plus.
Yeah.
All right,
So
so
there you go.
raspberry Uncrustables.
Tuesdays
Yeah.
at 8.
And then finally, WNBA star Angel Reese,
Right.
who will be second in Rookie of the Year voting behind Caitlin Clark, has signed a deal with Reese's.
That makes sense, yeah.
She's launching a new Reese's Pieces
I like
apparel
that.
today with Angel Reese's. Get it?
I like that.
Shirts,
No,
jerseys.
I don't get it.
They say it's the perfect match. Angel Reese and Reese's. There
Yeah,
you
I
go.
don't fully get it, but well done. Actually, that's a good segue. Well, we have maybe like 30 seconds for me to mention that for the NBA this season.
You're like Caitlin Clark on the show tomorrow.
Listen to Caitlin Clark's show tomorrow. NBA this season, games involving Caitlin Clark, 1 million average viewers. 7,000. So
Yeah.
3 times the viewership, and that's not overly surprising. It's like when Tiger Woods was hanging around on Sunday.
Yeah.
In his prime, the viewership was higher. Some people said there is a bit of a Tiger Woods effect potentially with Caitlin Clark. I think Rise Tide lifts all boats. I think the numbers in general are up for the WNBA, but clearly up, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Which is
Caitlin
why
Clark
it was smart to leave her off the Olympic team. Very
Oh,
smart.
it makes a lot of sense.
Makes
yeah.
a lot of sense.
All right, we're back tomorrow from Circa in Vegas.
Every team play her.
Yeah. They should play too.
Only her.
Oh, just her. Just her. We're back tomorrow, 3 p.m. Circa in Vegas. If you missed anything today, sportsfc.com, iHeartRadio app, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, or Spotify. We're on social media at Jon and Jim, JONAND. I am. All right, for Brent and Jim, I'm John here from the Circa in Las Vegas. Keep it here. We're back tomorrow at 3 on San Diego Sports 760. Ciao. Bye.